Welcome, 80s Wrestling family, to Monday Night Virtual. 80s Wrestling Con presents another live virtual signing with Powers of Pain. But first, the virtually Vicky pre-show. And as you can see to my right, I am not... Well, looks like somebody new today. Welcome everybody. Nikos, Ricos. Do you want to let everybody know who you are? Because I think you should.
I will gladly let everybody know, because everybody wants to know. They need to know. Clearly, obviously, duh. I am Nikos Ricos, a.k.a. the Spartan Pitbull, a.k.a. the Stamos of professional wrestling, and I have the greatest gear you'll ever see. Don't pay attention to what the articles on Twitter say about me having the worst gear of all time. No, it's not. Now, if you still need to get an idea of who I am, see for yourself.
Okay, well, Nikos Ricos, he is a good friend of mine, so I gotta say, I'm always impressed.
Why not?
I'm impressed.
Why
Okay,
not? Of
okay,
course you would
okay.
be.
Well, Nikos, I have to tell you, do you want to tell me what made you agree to the Virtually Vicky pre-show? What made you agree to this?
What made me agree was, well, I mean, I figured you actually would want to sit next to me, is the way that I saw it. Because I figured, I mean, take it, like, Bobby the Brain Heenan and Gorilla, Jerry the King Lawler and JR, even modern days. We'll bring it back to, Corey Graves, Michael Cole. They need to bounce off each other, a great team and whatnot.
I like
and
it.
You needed a Bobby the Brain.
Okay.
You needed a Corey Graves. You needed a Jerry the King Lawler. So I figured, let me compliment you, let me help you out by giving you the Spartan Pitbull. Nikos Ricos. It's only going to make you better.
Oh,
It's going to be fun for
God,
me. So
I should be mad right now because it's like kind of annoying me, but I'm not.
I don't blame you.
I mean, he has a point.
I do.
You have a point. Okay, well, let's get into it here, guys. I'm going to settle down for a minute because you get me really like hot and bothered. And
It's okay.
Okay, well, I guess that's what
Sorry,
co-hosts
relax.
do, right?
Yeah, maybe. They make it better. I'm here to make you better. And we're here for the Powers of Pain.
Okay, you have a
Monday
point.
Night Virtual.
You have a point. And there goes our banner.
There
But
goes
that's
the
okay,
banner.
guys, because guess what? The show must go on. It's okay.
That's it.
It's okay. Okay, so tonight we have Powers of Pain, right, Nikos?
Absolutely.
Barbarian and Warlord. So, what do you have to say about those guys?
The Super Destroyers, the Super Assassins, managed by the infamous Mr. Fuji. I mean, these two guys, just take a look at them. How many guys are there really, workers, wrestlers left like these guys? Over 6 feet tall, well over 6 feet tall. Billed at nearly 700 pounds combined.
Yeah.
I mean, guys like this, right now, they still enter a room and they command respect. They command your attention.
Yeah, no, I mean, listen, the Powers began their feud with the Road Warriors, right? And this was in Jim Crockett Promotions. That was 1987, and there was an epic bench press contest, and that's where it started. Honestly, Nikos, I know this. I think you might have been able to outbench them.
Absolutely not. Because as high as my ego is...
I was kidding, guys.
No, as high as my ego is, no way.
Oh, at least he admits his ego's pretty high. And I have to say mine is too, so... All right. Anyway, so 80s Wrestling, the podcast, guys. Let's take it back to the podcast for 80s Wrestling. Have you listened to those episodes?
I have.
They are amazing.
Absolutely.
Okay. You're not going to get that anywhere else.
No.
80s Wrestling, the podcast, is every Thursday. There's a new episode on iTunes. Be sure to check that out because, I mean, not just because I'm part of the 80s Wrestling family, but you guys are too. You should be checking that out as well. Why would they not?
So many podcasts in the world. There's so many wrestling podcasts. Name me one that is just branded 80s Wrestling Podcast. It says it right there. There's so many, just, there's interviews after interviews, recaps on how this guy felt about Monday Night Raw's episode. But how many are truly out there about the 80s Wrestling Podcast? It's right there in the title, folks.
My favorite one was with Hogan.
Yeah.
It was. So, all right. As we all know, 80s Wrestling family, and now that you are a part of this family, you should be very, very grateful.
Yeah, I am.
Because you're sitting next to me.
And yeah, well, I don't know about that part, but
Well, I think so. Because most people, they sit next to me and they're like, you get all hot and bothered in a good way.
Yeah.
They're excited,
I'm kind of bothered
You
by
seem
seeing
pretty-
the
he doesn't
size
seem
of these.
excited to be
I'm
honest.
more so bothered by seeing the size of these guys, and I'll have to get towered over by these two gentlemen. I'm kind of intimidated just looking at their posters, and
You want one?
I might have to take one. Yeah, I just don't want them seeing when I do take it.
Well, you do know that if you mess with Vicious Vicky,
Yeah.
you're messing with them, right?
Oh, are you there, Fuji? Is that how this works now?
All right. He thinks he's a wise guy. All right, well, Monday Night Virtual, we're going to read off some of the big names coming up. And I have to say, I am ready for March 8th because March 8th, I get to meet Wendy Richter. All of you get to meet Wendy Richter. That is going to be epic in itself. For me, okay?
She's a legend.
Exactly. And as a woman in wrestling, making my way, I have to say that being with her is literally going to be one of the greatest days of my life.
To the Hall of Famer?
Yep.
Absolutely.
Bob Orton on March 22nd, guys. Now, we all know that his son is one of the best in the business, right? So, to have this guy as well come here, it's going to be epic, amazing, amazing, amazing. Craig DeGeorge, also on March 22nd. Then we have the Extreme signing on April 19th.
I can hear Paul Heyman's voice in my head. Extreme!
Yes! Come on, guys. This is...
Sorry, I'm like getting all excited about this
he
ECW
a little bit ahead of himself here.
franchise. We're gonna play some Deep Purple. I know Tommy's gonna play it when the franchise walks in. If he doesn't, then he definitely should. Just saying. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you go. Why don't you read off some names now? What do we got coming up?
After that, Stan Hansen, the infamous Lariat, the guy who took Japan by storm. And then that's on the 26th of April, day after my birthday. And then on May 10th, we have Ken Patera. And then, of course, on May 17th, the Redbeard, Eric Rowan.
I'm excited for that.
Yeah.
That I'm excited. And see, guys, just reading off that name right there.
Wait, you have history with Eric Rowan?
I may or may not have a small, mild piece of history with Eric Rowan. But, yeah, nearly scared me half to death with a spider. And I lost a shoe.
Monday Night Raw, folks.
That happened. But before I get into the rest of these names here, see, guys, this is why it's Monday Night Virtual now. Because now we're not just doing 80s wrestling, right, family? I told you guys last week, eventually you run out of people, right? So we decided, bring in some new guys. Not just 80s, 90s, New Age, everything. This is everything. And this is exactly, as I always say, Mr. Tommy Fierro is always working behind the scenes to bring you more and more and more wrestling, and he's not going to stop, guys. So just keep asking because you're more than likely to get your wishes granted.
Absolutely. The best of the past and the present.
Then we have May 17th, Darren Young, which I also said last week, and I'll just keep saying it. I'm very excited for that because my first taste of wrestling, Darren Young was there with the likes of other guys, and it's near and dear to my heart to be able to sit down with him once again and see him. So that's really exciting. You want to keep going?
May 24th, I just need to know if the following man is going to sing his home national anthem. That is Nikita Koloff.
You're going to ask him?
Will he?
I don't know. You want to ask him?
I don't know.
You should ask him.
I'm kind of scared too.
Are you scared?
Yeah.
You're not supposed to be scared. You're the Spartan Pitbull.
Yeah. You know what though? I am going to call myself out because I read this paper so quickly that I just embarrassed myself. Do you realize the mistake I just made? because this entire room just did behind the camera. So I'm going to call myself out here and be a decent co-host. I used to sing the national anthem. I was thinking real quick. I just read Nikolai Volkov in my head. Tommy Fierro just fired me in his head as well. It's actually Nikita Koloff. So my bad on that, NWA legend. We all know Nikita.
Keep going with that. He still knows his history.
I've humbled myself. I read it really quickly. I saw Loff and then made the, My apologies, everybody. You just go right ahead. I'm going to sit and think
June
about that.
7th, Rock and Roll Express, baby. I can't say that name without putting baby at the end of it because it just sounds right. Then we have the Head Shrinkers, June 21st. Billy Gunn on June 28th. I'm so excited for that.
That's going to be badass.
Hey!
I'm winking at the camera. See that?
He's winking.
Yeah,
You're good at winking.
Badass, huh?
That looks good. I like that.
Badass Billy Gunn.
I like that little thing you got going on there. Okay. July 5th, Tyrus, and July 26th, Dean Malenko. Like, hello?
Man,
Dean Malenko.
Iceman.
Come on. Oh, God. Well, I have to say, reading off this list here, you guys are in for like the biggest treat of your lives. Seriously. So with that being said, reading this amazing list off, amazing. If you guys order tonight for any of these dates that I just listed over here, you get a free Coco Beware autograph with any future order from March to July. I would take advantage of that. As you know, you guys always get these deals that come left and right, and you guys diligently act on it as you should. So keep acting on it. Here's they are right here. These are your options, okay? We all know Coco was here a few weeks ago, guys, and it was an epic one. I actually got to wear a hard hat and sing Demolition with him, and that was freaking awesome. Did you do that? Because no, you didn't. Okay.
I wasn't here. I literally was not.
You're right.
I would have walked in with my own version of Frankie if I was here, just to be clear.
And I have to say, I am coming off of a very traumatic experience last week. I was nearly in the hospital due to extreme scaredness, if that's even a word.
That's a thing?
I mean, hey, I'm Vicky.
it is.
I make up my own things, and that's just how it works. But yes, Ron Simmons was here last week, and I was extremely startled. You want to know what happened? You weren't here.
I watched it. I saw it.
Oh, you saw it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
There's still a mark on the floor, I think, where you fell. You got startled.
I think so.
Good luck with that.
What?
Like, dealing with that. Like, he scared you. Like, look at the lineup of more of some of the giants, the monsters.
You mean like the guys we have tonight?
Legends that are coming in, like tonight.
Like the guys we have tonight?
Yeah.
So now you're telling me I have to be
You gotta
scared?
get yourself together, girl.
Get myself together? Excuse me, have you looked at me?
Yes.
And I have to get myself together.
I'm going to leave it at that.
Yeah, okay.
Just keep going.
All right. Well, if any of you are not following 80s wrestling, which you should, which you probably are, and if you're not, if you're tuning in now, please do on all social media, Instagram at 80s Wrestling, Twitter at 80s Wrestling, Facebook at 80s Wrestling, and add that apostrophe, why don't you, on Facebook, because there's a few out there, and 80s with the apostrophe.
Proper punctuation.
That's us. Proper punctuation. See? You know all about that, right?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Man, I'll tell you, Nikos, you're interesting.
Yeah.
You're very interesting.
Yeah. No, that's why I'm here.
Yeah.
That's why I'm here.
Yeah, I mean.
That's exactly why I'm here.
Wow. Okay. So, how about Sunday, March 28th, Virtual Mania, guys? You know we've been pushing this for quite a while now, and this is a must-see. Besides the list of names that we constantly read off, Virtual Mania is an absolute must-see. Why don't you tell us who's going to be there, Nikos Ricos?
See, I'm rubbing the back of my neck.
Why?
Because years ago, I may or may not. See, you felt you're still feeling the effects, the scaredness, whatever you called it, of Ron Simmons just saying something and you falling over. I have experienced the DDT from the master of the DDT. I got dropped on my head once by Jake the Snake Roberts.
That explains it.
You're going to have to sit next to him.
I am
Infamous Jake the Snake, a legend, a guy who to this day still remains more relevant than just God knows half the world because he's even an ambassador for DDPY.
It is true.
This guy's everywhere. Also coming up, the Orient Express, the infamous Kato and Pat Tanaka. You all know them. They had a WrestleMania victory over the Rockers. Do you know that?
Yeah.
We've also got Max Moon, the infamous Max Moon, the intergalactic warrior. There's also Skinner. You know about Skinner? Alligator hunter? Yeah. How do you feel about sitting next to him?
I'm honestly like...
He's funny. You have
what do you bring for defense for something like that?
Jake the Snake And then you're going to have an alligator.
You think he's gonna bring Snake?
Damien?
Snake's name Damien?
Did you see what Damien did to the Macho Man Randy Savage?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You see the blood?
That's why I'm not really excited. No, I mean, I'm excited for him. I just don't like snakes. I don't like snakes. They freak me out.
I mean, you may or may not have to deal with it.
I hope you're here so I can, you know.
I'm like Indiana Jones. I'm not a big fan of snakes, so I don't know how I would deal with that if he does have Damien with him. I mean, he may just break you into a stretch, really. Just throw you some down dog your way, some DDPY, get your heart rate up there.
I am good at yoga, so I mean, half the battle's won there.
Yeah, I guess. And then last but not least, Haku. Speaking of Barbarian, then we got Haku coming in Virtual Mania. You want to talk about, we said badass before. I mean, this guy also, a.k.a. King Haku, a.k.a. Ming. I mean, this guy is, there's notorious stories. He's legendary for not just being a badass in the ring, but out the ring. Look him up, folks. The Tongan death grip. I grew up watching this guy, loving this guy. He just locked it on, whip his head back and forth, watch all that crazy hair go back and forth. The guy is still wrestling today, as is his entire lineage and whatnot, but whew, you've got some interesting people you're going to have to sit next to and be in the presence of. I am jealous, I must say, but still.
I love when people are jealous. It makes me happy. Especially the likes of someone like you. I mean, Nikos, you have had a pretty stellar career thus far, I would say.
Oh,
right?
I don't want to, you know. The people saw the video.
Yeah, I know, but I mean...
And there's more to come where that came from.
I think, you know, it's okay to speak about it.
Might add another nickname, maybe Wrestling's Gaston. Might start to... Wrestling's Greek Gaston. I just came up with that off the top of my head.
That's great.
Yeah.
See, you have all these surnames and nicknames like me. The Queen Goddess, the Garden State Goddess. The only goddess that matters. I am Jersey royalty. I have so many names, I can't even come up with myself anymore. My name is the Vivacious Vicious Vicky. Say that 10 times fast.
The virtually vivacious.
Unbelievable.
Vicious.
It's all V's.
I don't know.
V for victory. V for victorious.
Yeah.
It just makes sense.
There's like 17 V's in the whole thing. It works though.
It's great.
Definitely.
It makes for great content.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I have to just, you know, this is just what I do. 80s wrestling family, you guys know how I am. I'm sorry. I can't help myself. What are you wearing?
Smell?
No.
Or like who?
Okay, he smells very good actually, but no.
What am I?
You're like a little, like,
What am I
oh,
wearing?
what?
I'm just asking my producer.
Oh,
There's nobody there.
There's no one there. It's a ghost.
No, there's no. I'm just trying to figure out exactly what the hell you're asking me. What am like
Well,
clothing?
I've had co-hosts in the
Smell?
past, you know, just dress not up to par with
Oh, we're
this
talking about
is-
dress wear.
Yeah, you just have like a shirt on
Okay,
and
okay.
jeans, which are, I guess they're okay. I'm just,
Folks want the whole show, so I
what
mean,
was
this
I
is
just like
what
me.
I'm
I got
wearing
the
here.
jacket.
I'm actually thinking this is a pretty decent set of jeans.
And the hair and the hoop
You know.
earrings and the glitz and the glam and you know, here you are just plain Jane. It doesn't surprise me. Every co-host in the past plain.
If these people just saw that, how these jeans are just hugging my thighs, my quadzilla down here, then they would completely understand why I'm wearing them, whatnot. Why not?
Are you saying that you have large legs?
Yes, quite some bit. And then the V-neck. Who doesn't like a good V-neck? Showing off just a little bit of the chest and whatnot. Give them a little bit of a preview, but not too much. Not too much.
Okay, I get. All right.
This is a pre-show.
God, he's too fired up
There
for
could
me.
be kids. I gotta say that. Yeah. And my hair. I mean, why not? I just got my hair done earlier today for this. Why not? This is 80s.
Looks very
Where's
Corey
wrestling?
Graves. Very Corey Graves.
Well,
Is that what you were going for?
were you going for Carmella or we just?
Carmella doesn't really do this
decided?
anymore, so
Yeah,
it's
anymore,
my
all right.
thing now.
All right.
I am me, okay? I am me.
So this is your thing. You insult the person what they're wearing.
No.
Or try to.
I didn't insult you. I just asked a question.
Yeah. Well, you insinuated. You said plain Jane.
Okay. You look fine.
And my feelings are hurt.
No. Oh, no, you're attractive. I'm sorry. I don't care. Anyway, guys, as you can see, we got a little friendly banter going on. As I've already said, I know him, so it's okay, I guess, to do that. Right?
Question.
Oh,
where,
shoot. Let's go. I love questions.
Where can people place these orders again?
Yes, 80swrestlingcon.com, peeps. It's not too late. It's not too late. And as I said earlier, I know you guys probably got all caught up in our banter here, but who doesn't like that? If you order tonight from March to July, any of those dates that I read off tonight, you get a free Coco Beware
Show them off again.
autograph.
Let's just remind these people
Don't
what they're looking at.
Miss out on this. Hello. Look at this. This is my favorite one, guys. This one here. Just got to put that front and center because I love it. But yeah, you get this. So please, please, please get your orders in. And again, tonight we have Powers of Pain, and we are super excited for that because, guys, let's be real here. As you can see, and I say it all the time, 80s wrestling is notorious for booking the greatest tag teams of all times, and it's just an honor to be sitting with them. It really is.
Why didn't you paint your face like one of them?
Oh, I thought about it.
Yeah.
Honestly, okay. So
I mean, you throw in some makeup as is.
If he-
Why not just throw in a little bit of the...
So, yeah, I mean, he asked me why I didn't paint my face like them.
I would.
And I just felt like I don't know.
Would have enhanced your look. But...
Enhanced my look? Ugh, fine. Oh, all right, 80s wrestling family, here's the deal. I'm going to turn this over to our lovely host, Ryan. And as you all know, I appreciate you watching me because I am the best thing that ever happened to your screens. And, well, Nikos Ricos joined me tonight, and it was interesting to say the least. But that's all for the virtually Vicky pre-show. Guys, enjoy the virtual signing. Get your orders in now, 80swrestlingcon.com. And, well, this goddess is out.
Another edition of Monday Night Virtual Signing Series. We're having some laughs and some fun off camera, but now we're live with you guys. My name is Ryan Marr. I'm your host for the next 3 hours. And as a lot of you may realize, we've kind of evolved. I don't want to say rebranded, but evolved. It's now Monday Night Virtual, but the parent company is still 80s Wrestling Con. And tonight, I don't think it gets more 1980s wrestling than it does with these two men who are sitting next to me. I'm at the kiddie table tonight. We got the big boys here. Ladies and gentlemen, the Powers of Pain, Warlord and Barbarian. How you guys doing today?
Good, guys. Good. Thank you. Thank you, Ryan. Thank you for having us.
Oh, it's a pleasure for me to be here.
I don't know about big boys. What about the old boys?
Well, you still look phenomenal, and you're only as old as you feel. So how do you feel?
Yeah, I feel great.
Okay.
I feel great. So far, so good.
You're thinking about
I look great on the outside. I'm beat up on the inside.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We're going to have a lot of fun tonight. We're going to take a stroll down memory lane. We got a lot of great pictures. We have memorabilia that you've sent in from all over the world. If you're following along in the chat, just a couple quick orders of business. Keep in mind, guys, this is not a wrestling shoot interview. So if you have any comments or questions that have to do with these men's careers as the Powers of Pain and whatnot, feel free to ask them. We'll try our best to get to some questions. We'll get to some comments, but it's all about the shout-outs for the people that ordered. If you'd like to place an order for an 8x10, visit 80swrestlingcon.com now. Also, a couple quick orders of business before we get started. The next signing is going to be on March 8th with Wendy Richter. We have signings scheduled from March 8th through July 26th. If you place an order in advance tonight at 80swrestlingcon.com, we're going to throw in a free autographed Coco Beware 8x10. Here they are right here. So order for any of the future signings tonight, and you're going to get one of these. But tonight, it's all about the Powers of Pain. It's great to have these guys here with us tonight. And we're going to get started right off the bat with Mike from Howell, New Jersey. Mike from Howell, New Jersey, silver marker. There for the Powers of Pain.
Barb, just put the Powers of Pain on the first. Put Powers of Pain or just a name?
To Mike.
Yeah, to Mike. Mike. Yep. To Mike.
Don't forget, guys, 80swrestlingcon.com. Get those orders in. The online store should be open until about 9:30 p.m. tonight.
Just put your name. Yep.
Going to open up the chat in just a little bit. Bear with me, having some technical difficulties on my old iPhone here. I'll do a shout out to Vicky, our pre-show host. Vicky is the leader of Goddesses of War.
Yeah, for you, Mikey. Yep.
Alrighty. And this one is to Jay. To Jay. Silver.
2J. J, or no, put J. J, what? J, what? J.
Guys, don't forget to share that video out to all your friends on Facebook. It's always nice to see people stumble across their newsfeed, get that nostalgia feel. Michael Bloomingberg, love the feud with Demolition. We're going to talk about that a little bit later because I have some questions about that myself.
Jay.
This is
Jay, what are you doing?
to Mike Tarras in Pennsylvania, my good friend Mike. There you go.
So, to Mike. Mike, lots of Mike. Lots of Mikes.
Don't forget, guys, this is a virtual signing. So because of the pandemic, we can't do it in person. So get those orders in. Lisa Cosentino wants to know if either of you have a favorite Mr. Fuji story. I'm sure there's many of them.
Too many stories. That's a rough one. There's a lot of them. There's a lot of them. What's his name? Mike?
That's to Mike.
Another Mike, you know? Black. Black. I think black better.
Shay Knowles, how much of the autographs? Go to 80swrestlingcon.com. All the information is listed for you there. 80swrestlingcon.com. I believe it's on the bottom of the screen that you're watching. 80swrestlingcon.com.
Still wet. There you go. Mikey. There you
This one's to Jay from Minnesota. Jay, he wants black. Black for Jay.
go. There you go. Jay. That's just your mark. Jay. Yeah, for you, Jay. Thank you, Jay.
And now we got a solo one of just the Warlord. Look at that,
Warlord.
Zeke. There you go.
That's in black.
In black. So many great pictures from back in the day. I'm sure these bring back a lot of memories every time you do one of these.
How much weight do you have?
More than you.
350? Yeah. There we go.
All right, this one is to Chris Z in Illinois. Chris Z.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a
Chris C.
silver. That's a Chris C.
PJ Wendell, that can't be Ryan Moore. He's too skinny. Well, I am down 41 pounds, but look at who I'm sitting next to. I'm sitting next to two monstrous men, so I'm going to naturally look smaller.
Chris. Chris C.
Ryan Daniel, you can order your photo at 80swrestlingcon.com. Check out all the upcoming signings. Also, the videos of the past signings that we've done
Chris.
over the last
Yeah,
few
that's for
months.
Chris C.
All right, Jack Garris in Missouri. Big Jack, he wants it to, in silver. Big Jack.
Big Jack.
I'm sorry, I'll slide it over to you. There you go.
Goes to Big Jack part.
Silver.
Tim Hardy wants to know if the shirts that you're wearing are available for sale anywhere.
Not right now because of the COVID. The people haven't produced any. As soon as we start getting back to normal, we got a whole bunch made again.
Great.
Whole bunch.
Are you
Yeah.
guys on social media or anything that they can follow you? No. I noticed that's a
I,
big
I,
thing.
I like to have a personal life.
There you go.
I like my life to be personal.
We're noticing that trend of a lot of the wrestling superstars from that era. No social media. Quite a way to live. Very peaceful, no anxiety.
Yeah. What's his name? There you go. Chris. There you go. Oh, good.
All right, Michael Bourne in Long Beach, California, to Michael in silver.
Silver. Michael. Silver. Michael. Michael, there you go, Michael. Thank you, Michael.
All right, this is for Daniel in Nebraska. To Daniel, or to Dan, I'm sorry.
What,
Silver.
silver?
Silver. Yeah.
Silver. Wow, nice one. Good.
So do you guys
Yeah, here goes Dan.
There you go.
Thank you.
do a lot of these signings even before COVID? You guys have stayed in contact through
Oh
the
yeah,
years,
of
I'm
course.
assuming.
We all stay in contact. Yeah, all the time.
That's great. All right, this is for Anthony in Arizona. Anthony in Arizona.
Answer.
So many great signings coming up with Monday Night Virtual, 80swrestlingcon.com. Check out that full list. We got Wendy Richter coming up next on March 8th.
Anthony, thank you. Cool.
And then this is for Adrian. This was after the Powers of Pain split here.
Oh, yeah.
How heavy was it to wear that stuff all the time?
Oh, too heavy.
At least you were warm.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know you love that outfit.
Adrian.
Don't forget the social media pages. You can follow
Adrian.
me
Yeah, thank you.
at Ryan Marr Comedy. We also have at 80s Wrestling, Twitter at 80s Wrestling, and Facebook, of course, 80s Wrestling. Always great conversations taking place. So this is for Brett Miller in Wisconsin. He just wants the signatures there in silver.
Sure. Sure. Oh, shit, she's
Cool.
yeah. Thank you.
These guys are regulars. This is Corey Walker, Spring Hill, Tennessee. This is the Warlord and the Phantom of the Opera gimmick there. To the Walker
Opera.
Family Museum. That was, I believe, around WrestleMania 7, right?
Yep.
With British
Just
Bulldog.
before WrestleMania 7.
There you go. Don't forget, guys, anything that you order for any future signings from Wendy Richter on, you can get that free Coco Beware 8x10, so go to 80swrestlingcon.com and make sure you place your orders. We're going to be here with the Powers of Pain until about 10 p.m., so get those orders in. I can't wait till we get to the memorabilia that people sent in. A lot of great action figures.
So there you go.
Here's another great
Nice.
picture
Nice.
with Mr. Fuji. Do you have one story that you can tell that's kind of PG-13, Mr. Fuji? Because they keep asking in the chat, so I don't want them to think I'm
Sure.
ignoring them.
Big John. Okay.
Happy 2021.
Tell him about Fuji.
I don't know where to start.
Big John.
He doesn't know where to start.
I don't know how to start.
Well, that means that it'll be great no matter what it is.
Yeah, you have to give me a little while to think about it.
All right,
Be a
take
good
your
one.
time. We're here till 10 p.m.
Oh, I have a good one.
Okay.
Big John. Yeah.
Oh, I know one. I do know one. When we first started, our just left NWA, went to the WWF.
Okay.
Our one of our first show. Our first show was in Notre Dame, in South Bend, Indiana.
Mm-hmm.
Our next day we were in Syracuse, New York,
Okay.
to do a show that Sunday night.
Need to.
And so we weren't with Fuji at the time yet, but who did we ask about where a hotel was where everybody stayed at? We asked Fuji. We didn't know any better. Well, Fuji sent us this hotel. We went there
Thank
afterwards. Barb and me pull up and I'm looking and I'm going like, Barb, how come there's no cars here? It's like there's no cars, no nothing. It's just old. And I'm saying, guys from WF stay in a place like this? I said, you gotta be kidding me, man. So we check in, we go to the room, kids' room, no air conditioning. It's like 95 degrees out in Syracuse. We go ahead, we turn the TV on. TV was all fuzzy. And tried laying in the beds and the bed sagged all the way to the ground with our weight.
Yeah.
I'm like, Barb, I said, the guys can't be staying here. Because I look out, I said, there's no cars here yet. You know, finally we just said, we got to sleep, man, because we got to be up early next day. We got
There
to
were no
drive.
boys there but us.
Yeah. So we go ahead, and we just look at each other and said, Barb, you know what? Here, let's do this, man, during the night. I'll fan you for an hour, and then I'll take a nap. You fan me for an hour, okay? And we'll just kind of get through the night like that so we can make it to the night without dying.
Oh, wow.
Next day, we drove to the first TV we were going to do. We're both exhausted now, totally, because we had no rest.
Right.
We get there, Fuji comes with, How was your hotel last night? I don't think that was the right hotel. I said, that's where no. All boys stay down down to Holiday Inn, down the street. No, that's, that was your special hotel. That was your special hotel. That was ours.
That was quite the
Oh
welcome.
yeah, that was our welcome to WWF.
That's one of those motels where it's like, if I'm watching a movie in room 8, how do I know I'm not the movie in room 7? Especially if you guys are having to fan each other all night. There you go, little John Fox.
It was brutal.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, what's his name? Big John.
There you go.
Thank you. Big
Yeah,
John.
every story that I've ever heard was just that he was a fun-loving guy that loved to bust chops.
Oh yeah, you didn't want to be on his bad side.
I could imagine that.
That means you, if you're on his bad side, you just have one eye open all the time. Always.
Stephen Singleton in Washington to Stephen in silver.
Steven.
Yeah, I was just revisiting the Survivor Series 1988 yesterday, and it was very interesting how that whole double turn took place, because when you lifted Fuji up in the ring after being the sole survivors, the crowd popped like it was Fuji turning face
That's right.
instead of you guys turning heel.
And let me tell you, it was hard to turn heel because everywhere we went, everybody was cheering for us. Everybody
Here you go,
loved it.
Stephen. Thank
So
you.
we would have to
Thank
go
you.
ahead and jump into win a babyfaces match and beat up on them every single night. So we have to do twice the work to get over as a heel.
Yeah.
I mean, people just thought that he really turned babyface for once.
Because even when Demolition came back
Yeah.
out to attack you, they were getting booed.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, until you guys did the interview backstage
Yeah.
with me and Gene, no one knew.
Yeah.
And back in those days, I remember when you go to the live events, if you look at the scoreboard, sometimes you wouldn't get the audio. So you'd be
Yep.
like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah.
Great times, though. This is for Robert in nearby Lincroft, New Jersey. Silver to Robert.
So, Robert.
Don't forget, guys, we're going to be here till 10 p.m. with the Powers of Pain. The online store will be open till 9:30. 80swrestlingcon.com. Check it out. Also, the list of all the upcoming signings that are going to be taking place. Tim Hardy, once again, that was the last thing. I don't know if the chat froze. The shirts they have on
So,
after COVID,
Steven.
they're going to be
Yeah,
available.
here you go, Stephen. Thank you.
All right, another Jersey guy here, John Soltes. John, to John and Silver.
To Robert.
Yeah.
To Robert. To Robert. You hold it up for him. Hold it up for Robert. Just hold it up. Just say hi.
Yeah.
Say Steve, it's Robert.
Oh, Stephen. Oh, Robert. Sorry. Yeah, Robert. Thank you, Robert.
There's to John.
John. Big John stuff.
If you have any memories about the Powers of Pain, keep them coming in the chat. We'll shout you guys out. If you have any questions, we'll do our best to get to the questions. 80swrestlingcon.com for all upcoming signing info. Don't forget, order tonight for any future signing. Get that free Coco Beware 8x10.
John. So, John.
There you go, John.
Okay. Thank you, John.
Corey Walker wants to know who came up with your ring names. Were they you guys together or separate? Did they put
No,
together?
actually, I didn't know Barb when Barb came up with Barbarian. I know for mine, it was actually Animal the Road Warriors helped me.
Oh, okay.
I trained at his gym in Minnesota. It's called The Gym. And it's where a whole bunch of big names came from. Hawk used to train there. You had Tijo Khan when he was around back then. He trained there. You had a whole bunch of big names that came out of Minnesota.
Absolutely.
And I would train her, and he just kept bugging me, saying, you should try professional wrestling. And I said, And every time he would come into the gym, whenever he'd be around home, he'd always keep bugging me. And so one day I just said, okay, I'll give it a shot and that stuff. He said, we got to come up with a name. So we started kicking out names, and you guys are you're so much like me, the way you are, the way you built, everything and that stuff, the way you act. He said, Warlord. And I loved it. I said, that's great, man.
Now, had you been a wrestling fan before that? Or?
I watched AWA.
Okay.
I watched it grow. Actually, I was a four-time national champion at AU when I was young. And I actually was put, when I was 9, I was in 5th grade, so maybe 10, 11 years old, about 10 years old. And I won the big nationals in Missoula, Montana. And the AWA brought me on the show
Wow.
with all my medals I had from amateur wrestling. And that was the very first time I ever met Vern Gagne on the show when I was just 10 years old.
That's amazing.
Because it was in Minneapolis.
I had never heard that.
Yeah,
That's
that was
great.
in Minneapolis.
I wonder if
Yeah.
that's available on YouTube. If anybody
So-
wants to look it up and let us know, that's pretty cool. Jesse in Canada, starting to get a little international now. He wants
To Jesse Barr.
to Jesse in silver. Brian Wooten, there's the answer to your question. It was actually the Road Warriors.
Yeah, it was
who helped
Animal.
them. Animal. Phenomenal.
Yeah, Animal helped me a lot of things.
Okay, good. Jesse.
Bill Desmarais wants to know, did Barbarian enjoy being in the movie Body Slam with Roddy Piper? I know I enjoyed watching it hundreds of times.
Yes, I did. Yeah, it was some good memories, some bad memories.
Maybe a little bit of both.
Yeah, I've heard a couple.
We're going to see as the night progresses if we get a little more.
But I enjoyed the movie. It was good. Lou Albano.
Oh, of course. I miss Lou Albano. He was a guy who I got to work with a little bit. What a character. J.R. Sanchez in Houston, Texas.
Yeah, put that in there. Face your fear.
What?
Face your fear.
Oh.
Craig Weber says,
I know.
my
Still
favorite
gonna face
memory
your
of
fear.
Barbarian, seeing him in the Head Shrinkers as Sione. That is true. We're actually going to have the original Head Shrinkers here on June 21st, Samu and Fatu. So if you're a big fan, Craig, make that order tonight for the Head Shrinkers signing on June 21st, and you're also going to get a complimentary Coco Be Wary by 10. 80s Wrestling Con.
So we face your fear instead of powers of faith. What's his name? Face your fear on top of Barbarian of powers of faith.
Corey Walker wanted to know who could bench press more, you or Barbarian.
Him.
Barbarian answers for him.
Yeah, but you know what though? It wasn't far apart. I did.
Warlord
I
did
did 640 one
yeah.
time.
640.
I saw him did
640.
650.
And Barb, I think Barb, what did you do? 615?
Yeah, about 620.
Yeah. 620.
Yeah, my next.
We were legit 600 pound plus.
Yeah,
we were
yeah.
legit.
Last week, Ron Simmons told us 585, and I was blown away. So.
Yeah, Ron was super strong too. Listen, guys of our era were freaks.
Absolutely.
They were.
Animal.
People don't realize how strong we
Animal
were.
strong.
They don't really realize how strong we were.
Yeah, and that doesn't go away. I mean, it fades a little bit with time, but if you have that kind of strength.
Well, people found out the first time we NWA, we went to California, first time LA, and we went to the Golds.
Okay.
And of course, the Mecca bodybuilding at Venice Beach out there. And we walk into the club, and everybody's just like staring because here we got the bandanas on, we got the tank tops. I'm weighing about 340, Barb's at about 320.
Yeah.
And we come in here, and I mean, anybody that was somebody in bodybuilding was there. And we worked up to 315. We were doing behind the necks. We must have cranked about 20 each. And the whole gym just stopped and stared.
Wow.
They couldn't believe, they didn't know wrestlers were that strong. They had no clue that we were that strong. None. I thought wrestlers just wrestled. They didn't realize.
Brothers, they were there.
Yeah, the Barbarian brothers were there. It was,
They were there.
it was wild.
Although it sounds like, for me, they're speaking Japanese with this kind of talk. It's still very interesting. I'm very impressed with it. That's so what was it, 640 and 615?
Yeah.
Man, I better get on the Bowflex when I get home.
620, my max. Yeah.
Brian in Connecticut. Brian.
Brian, silver. Oh, you love silver, huh? Brian.
Jamie Spivey. Some of my favorite wrestling memories are watching the Barbarian on Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling when he was part of Paul Jones' Army. Always a fave.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah, I go back and revisit some of that. I was a Jersey boy, so I grew up mostly on WWF, but with the network now, you can watch anything.
Brian. Brian, here you go, Brian. Thank you.
All right, this one is a solo of the Warlord, silver to Dustin.
Solo. Oh, I have a story for Fuji. Yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah,
That's what we want. Emil Menard, the 80s era will always be the best era in pro wrestling? Absolutely, no question.
There you go, Dustin.
Okay. Big time Warlord.
Do you have your Fuji story, or you want to wait?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
No.
After this.
Oh, after this. All right, so this is for Annie Spivey in Marion, South Carolina. Silver to Annie.
Annie.
Brian Wooten, I was WWF Saturday morning. They were the best man. Yeah, Brian, the whole weekend was great. You had Superstars at noon. Then you had WCW Saturday Night at 6:05 TBS.
TBS.
Then you had All American Wrestling at 10 a.m. the next day, and
Whole
Wrestling
show,
Challenge.
huh?
So your whole weekend, and if there was a pay-per-view on Sunday, forget about it.
And then Monday night was.
Well, Monday night wasn't until '93. Prime time, true. I used to have to fight with my parents to stay away
Any,
from prime time.
this for you, Andy. Thank you.
All right, Brian Pettis in Orlando, Florida, just signature silver.
And then the following
Just
Tuesday Night Titans.
Signature.
Yeah, I wasn't really. I think that was a little before my time.
Yes.
One of my earliest memories was watching these guys at Survivor Series. I was 5. So on Tuesday
All
Night
right, now
Titans,
that's no dating us. No dating.
No, all right, I apologize. I apologize. I am at the kitty table.
You're killing us already.
Brian. What's that? Brian, huh? Thank you, Brian.
All right, Eric Layton in Felton, Delaware, silver, just signature.
Signature. Just season.
Jeff Kerman wants to know if either of you have a Haku story that isn't widely known. I don't know what you
him.
consider widely
Him.
known, but
Oh,
Well, pretty much the ones I know, everybody pretty much knows and that stuff. The one, the nose being bit off.
I never seen him action. I hear story, many stories. I never seen him.
I was there that night.
Never
Also,
seen him action.
I was at another.
Could you shout out
This
to Eric?
only what I
Just say
heard,
this is for Eric.
and
For Eric,
I was there with him, and I
thank
took
you,
out right
Eric.
before it happened.
Eric Layton.
But
Thank you.
Haku, we were at a bar in East St. Louis. You know, that's a rough area. So we're at a bar. We had a good time, and I said, Haku, I said, I'm going to take off, man. I'm tired. I'm going to get back to the hotel. You know. Well, from what I heard, some guys, like 4 of them, from what I heard, 4 guys, they came up and they started calling him all kinds of names. And he said, listen, brothers, I'm just relaxing. I'm Polynesian. So they were calling him some names again.
Yeah.
He said,
Yeah.
guys, listen, I'm Polynesian, you know. Finally, they all gathered around him, and I mean, that's all it took for Haku. I mean, he laid all 4 of them up. From what I heard, they were down in about 2 seconds. Boom, 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 like that. Well, there was an off-duty police officer there at the time, and he saw it, so he came running at Haku, and Haku hip-tossed him. And he went flying, and all I know, it was in the papers the next day in St. Louis that the off-duty police officer said, listen, guys, I played professional football with the Los Angeles Rams back in the day. I used to be double-teamed, you know, because I'm a big man, and I could hold my own pretty good. He said, this man took me, tossed me like I was a 130-pound man. He just took me like I was nothing. I've never had that happen in my life. And he said, that's a scary thing. And that's, you know, you got to remember, Haku comes, he's like Barb. He come from Tonga where they go to Japan. They sumued. So they learn that center of balance, because as that you learn center. You also learn the punches, the quick punches. So very fast punches and hard punches, because they would practice on those beams. You know, that's what they would hit, you know. And then you had a guy that had legs like this, that he could sit from this right there, he could put it right in your face just like that. And people don't realize how fast, he was fast as a gazelle. He was fast.
I could almost understand.
He was fast.
I could almost understand a casual
You know.
wrestling fan or even a non-fan that has a few drinks in them, seeing some wrestlers and going, "Let me." But when guys your size, I mean, you know, they don't need to know how much you bench press or whatever. When you see guys the size of Warlord, Barbarian, and Haku, what in your right mind would make you think, unless you had an extensive MMA background or why would you even want to make that attempt? Like,
Even except, maybe you got to remember, guys aren't busy. They're used to getting beat. We're used to get beat on with chairs, with all kinds of things. We're used to that. So it's, you know.
It's definitely mind-boggling. Well, they learned the hard way, a lot of them. This is for Bobby Head in Wisconsin. Too beautiful, Bobby. There you go, in silver. Too beautiful, Bobby. The jury's out. He's not in the chat, so I can't.
Beautiful Bobby.
If I had a picture, I could confirm if he was beautiful.
That's good, man. I like
Beautiful Bobby.
Fernando Cruz wants to know, Warlord, what was your best singles match? Is there a match that stands out?
For me, it would be WrestleMania 7. British Bulldog, Davey Boy Smith. Davey was an incredible wrestler. I remember he started when 16 years old.
Yeah.
And Davey's just the guy, I mean, he looked incredible. You know, and he could do anything in the ring. Anything. And it was a pleasure to work with him.
Yeah.
I love, and the two of us, our styles just happened to work out so well. They just like this. They meshed so well together that we could have great matches. plus our size, the way we were in that, which people love that. We got 285 pounds, and I was about 325 at WrestleMania at that time. I cut it down just a little bit for WrestleMania to be in really good shape, you know. And it's just one of those things that it clicked really good together, you know. And
Now, did you guys work together at all the house shows?
yeah, we worked some house shows up today, yeah. And it was just, David was a pleasure to work with. You know, he was an incredible wrestler.
Yeah, he was one of my favorites growing up, and his daughter Georgia actually is doing a lot for his legacy now. It's just great to see all these guys get remembered.
And Harry's doing well too.
Beautiful
Harry's a good kid. He's doing very well too.
Yeah, he's in Japan back and forth.
Yeah, Harry's doing very well.
Looks just like him too. This is for Michael Anderson, again in New Jersey, Cranford, New Jersey. Silver, just signature, Warlord. Hey Tommy, this picture tonight, for sale, not for sale? Not for sale. Not for sale, so that is for Tracy Tam Singh. Unfortunately, that picture is not for sale, but a big aloha to the guys for doing this, for us from Hawaii. Did either Barb or
aloha
ever wrestle in Hawaii?
Never wrestled in Hawaii. Only WWF.
NWA we did that one time, remember?
NWA?
We went over and we kind of disappeared for a couple of days and we did that big show.
Right. Yeah. I remember.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
This is for Jeremy in Ohio. Silver, Jeremy.
Aloha. Yeah.
Now we'll just greet everybody with aloha from now on, because now I wish I was in Hawaii.
Or I could say like where I'm from, Ola.
There you go.
Ola. Everything's Ola down by me.
Where are you at now?
South Florida.
Oh, okay. I'll be in
Down
Cape
Fort
Coral
Lauderdale.
Wednesday. Oh, I love
Fort Lauderdale.
The elbow room.
Yeah. Everybody's Cuban down by me.
Lots of Cuban, huh?
Yeah.
Very nice though. Very, very nice people.
No, I enjoyed that.
Very hard workers.
I have a buddy who has a condo in Pompano, so I try to get down there every once in a while.
Jeremy, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Powers of pain forever.
All right, this one is also New Jersey. Cole, too cold.
Oh, New Jersey, local boy, eh?
There you go.
Too cold. Oh, silver. Sorry.
Just go over it. Just go over it. Yeah, just go over it. There you go. See?
Gold.
There you go.
Yeah.
Cool.
So we do gold. Thank you, gold.
I always love these types of pictures because I've had some friends that over the years who are the job guys.
Yeah.
And, again, a lot of guys that do those jobs
I
were
saw
very
this great-
new to the business. Do you have any memories of anyone being terrified of like, oh my God?
I told Bobby, look like a Bob Backlund. I don't think Backlund gonna let us do that.
Yeah, there's quite a few guys when you get out there, they be shaking out there when you get in the ring with them and that stuff. It's, when you got two guys that are our size with our power and we could just do just about anything, I mean.
Especially when you're new to the business.
Yeah.
And
But we take care of the young guys.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, I took your finish.
Cannot
from DSN.
hurt
You took
them
care of
if
me.
you hurt
No,
them.
this
there's
is-
no
no,
one
this is Barb.
to put us over.
This is Barb. Brother, you just listen to me. I take care, otherwise I kill you, brother. and the guy just like, oh my God,
I remember it was a steel cage match. I was managing a guy named Glenn Osborne against Barbarian, and they said, don't climb the cage. It's not sturdy. So what's the point of having a cage match if you can't climb the cage?
Sure.
But we all ran in through the door at the end, and you hit me with the boot, and I was just laying there, and no one came and got me.
oh, that boot. Oh, brother.
Oh, I was fine. You took care of me. But they're like, get out of the ring. I'm like, I just took the Barbarian finish. I can't just get up and walk.
Thank you, Ryan.
Yes, I put you over. Chris Cooper in Roaring Springs, Pennsylvania.
You didn't have a choice.
You couldn't let me have my.
You didn't have a choice.
You couldn't let me have my.
Barb's motto is, what is his, and what is yours will be his also.
My favorite part about that weekend, though, because it was in Hamburg, Pennsylvania, at the Hamburg Fieldhouse. We went to a Holiday Inn afterwards, and we had driven Missy Hyatt. Larry Zbyszko was there, Tito Santana, Nikolai Volkov, and there was a wedding party, and a bunch of the groomsmen
Thank you, Coop.
were just marking out huge. Can you imagine just like going to a wedding, and then at your hotel, Larry Zbyszko, the Barbarian, Tito are all just hanging out? All right, this is to Mike in Georgia. Silver to Mike. Don't forget, guys, 80swrestlingcon.com. Check out all the upcoming signings. We're going to be back on March 8th with Wendy Richter. Any future signing that you place your order with tonight, we got a bunch of great ones coming up. Bob Orton, Craig DeGeorge. We got the ECW guys on April 19th. Stan Hansen, Ken Patera, Eric Rowan, Darren Young, Nikita Koloff, Rock and Roll Express, the Head Shrinkers, Billy Gunn, Brodus Clay, Dean Malenko. They're all coming up. Place those orders. Get free Coco Beware 8x10 with your order tonight.
Mike, thank you.
All right, this is for Brian in the land down under in Australia.
Wow.
To Brian.
Down under.
Man, down under, man.
Down under. Brian.
Brandon Neal's asking if you guys ever got to work with the Steiner brothers. Those must have been some hard-hitting matches.
We did. We actually did in South Africa.
See, South Africa.
South Africa. We had some very good matches with them out there, too.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah, that's why I always love when I hear today. No disrespect to any workers today, but oh, it's strong style. Okay.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, kick pads and 175 pounds. That's not really strong style, but well, yeah. Powers of Pain and Steiners.
That's for you, Mike, down under.
Might be a little strong.
Love you, Australia. Thank you.
All right, this is for Greg Ream in Macungie, Pennsylvania. Greg. Brendan, we already talked about Mr. Fuji, so in a few days, 80swrestlingcon.com. If they have more stories, we're going to be here till 10 p.m. They can feel free to throw them out there, but they actually told a very good one. So 80swrestlingcon.com in the next couple days, you can scroll through and find the video of this signing, and you'll get to hear that Mr. Fuji story that we all heard.
Fuji.
What a way to be brought into the WWF.
Okay, yeah. Greg, thank you, Greg.
All right, Jeremy Harris, Old Bridge, New Jersey, silver to Jeremy.
Jeremy.
Michael Kennedy, no, Clay is not 80s, Brodus Clay, a.k.a. Tyrus, but it's Monday Night Virtual, so we're not just doing 80s wrestling anymore. We're going to be bringing in all kinds of different superstars.
Yeah, Jeremy, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jeremy.
This one's for Jim in Keyport, New Jersey. Jim.
Jim Brunzell.
Great guy, Jumping Jim. Kyle Evito wants to know if either of you still have the gear from your singles runs, especially Barb with the antlers and fur coat, and Warlord with the mask and the W wand.
I have the mask on W1. It's put away in a bag. It's going to be for my kids.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's where it's going to go to. It's going to go to them. It's one of a kind. So,
Yeah.
and what I had to go through with that face mask to get it made, I'm keeping it.
Oh, it was
That
difficult?
was not fun because it was formed in my face.
Okay.
So I had to actually fly to Upper New York, actually up here, to actually a place that makes that kind of for like Phantom of the Opera type things, all those kind of shows and that stuff. And I had to go there and they had poured plastic up Paris on half my face. I had to breathe through a straw for about a couple hours so it hardened down there.
Oh.
And that's how they took it off and formed it in my face.
Wow.
That's how they did it. Yeah. So that thing ain't going nowhere. Neither is that W. That W.
That's for you, Jim.
That W is one of a kind thing. That's
Yeah. You only had one.
yeah.
Now, how'd you travel with that, though? Did you just check it with luggage? I mean,
Back, you got to remember that was before 9/11.
9/11,
Back then, you could get to the airport 15 minutes early and right on your flight. It was you could boom boom give the bellman or give the guy out there a few extra dollars. He'd bring it back right to the gate, right on the plane. Boom. It was so simple.
imagine a non-wrestling fan seeing a 350-pound warlord get on a plane with the Phantom of the Opera half mask and a W. That would be interesting.
Listen, people would freak out when they get on planes and they'd see Barb, they'd see Earthquake, Typhoon, me, and they're just looking. And there's a tugboat over. And here you get these big, huge guys coming on board, and everybody's like, this plane's going to go down. They can't handle the weight. You know.
That one's for Andrew in Wayne, New Jersey. Andrew. Yeah, and back then, I mean, it really was, you had to tell the story to a friend. There was no internet. Nobody could break out the phone and take a picture. So you would just have to say, yeah, I was on a plane with the Powers of Pain and Tugboat. And people would be like, you're fine.
Man, those are big boys. Tugboat, Earthquake. Those are big boys. We never wrestled a tugboat in Earthquake. Eh?
No, never did together. No.
You probably squash us.
Yeah, those are some big boys.
500 each.
Yeah, they're big guys.
Big boys.
Al in Wayne, New Jersey. Al.
Yeah, yeah.
A-L.
Yeah.
A-L.
80s Wrestling, the podcast, every Thursday. New episode available on iTunes. Don't forget the social media pages. I'm at Ryan Marr Comedy, Ryan M-A-H-E-R Comedy. You got at 80s Wrestling on Instagram and Twitter, as well as the Facebook group. A lot of great discussion going on the 80s Wrestling Facebook page. Free Coco Beware autograph tonight for any place for a future
There you
signing.
go, Al. Thank you all.
But we got the Powers of Pain tonight till 10 p.m. Store's going to be open till 9:30. This is for Sean in Baden, Pennsylvania. To Sean in silver. Just a reminder to a couple of the guys in the chat, we're not going to answer certain questions about who did you not like to work with or hardest stuff. We're going to keep it positive. So if you want to refrain from those questions, they're not going to be asked anyway. So. Plus, you never know who we're going to have on an upcoming signing, so we don't want to bury anybody.
Yeah,
We all got ghosts in our closet. Every one of us.
Absolutely.
We all do.
Yeah, I still wanted to tell a story about the Fuji story.
Yes, please.
It's a good one.
Please, whenever you're ready, I'm ready for
Okay,
it.
here goes Sean. Thank you. Thank you very much. Let me tell Fuji story.
Okay.
Quick. Well, we came in, like Terry said, at first we came in the WWF. Now we are at the hotel. Coming down the front, back then there was no cell phone, no
Social media.
Yeah, nothing. Pay phone back then. And so we asked the front desk the address to the building. You follow me?
Mhm, yes.
So Terry here and so we never met Fuji. So we asked, and before the lady speak to tell us the address, Fuji said, hey. So Fuji said, hey, come here, boys, sit down. I'm Master, call himself Master Fuji. I'm Master Fuji. So we said, yes, Master, nice meeting you, Master. Tell me. I said, oh, you look for the address. Oh, don't worry. You come with me, I take you there. I said, yes, Master. So he was there waiting for the demolition.
Okay.
Yeah? So he just left with us without telling, calling him. He just took off. So found out later, demolition come wait for him, and the lady in the front said, you must be waiting for Mr. Fuji. Yes, he just left with two big guys, Lady didn't know us. Oh my God, that demolition went crazy. So finally, long story short, we got there. Fuji said, okay, big man, Terry always drive. He always drive, I sleep. So Terry drive, Fuji in the front. I'm in the back of Fuji. Fuji said, okay, big man, you drive, I tell you, we get there. Yes, Master Fuji. So I remember sitting from the back, we go a little bit on the light, we jump the highway. I don't know if Terry jump the highway and go there for a long time. We exit, go on the light again, and then we back the highway. I said, man, this is too far. So, long story short, we get there, and Tito Santana told us, guys, where you guys stay? And we told Tito the hotel. Tito said, oh, it's right down the street, 5-6 minutes. I said, no, it must be a different hotel. But Tito said, no, I think that's the only hotel here.
He took us on about a 2-hour joyride.
And so it took us about an hour, or a little over an hour from the hotel to the building. So Tito said, follow us, I'll take you guys. So it took us about 6 minutes. So I said, oh my gosh. So Tito said, what happened? Well, Fuji was with us. Oh, that's a closer case. That's a closer case. What are we doing? Fuji will rip himself to rip others.
That's
right.
Absolutely. And that's a true master of the craft.
But this happened.
You know a story is going to be great when it involves two polar opposites, like a Mr. Fuji and a Tito Santana. You just know hilarity is going to ensue. This is for Michael Overstreet in Tennessee. To Michael in silver.
Michael Silver. Yeah, that's Fuji.
Jeremy Gibson, you guys are the best tag team ever. Wish I had a chance to meet you guys in person and get autographs. My kids would love that. Well, thank you, Jeremy. I'm sure they're happy to hear that. And
Sure.
80swrestlingcon.com. Follow
Thank
it
you.
because I'm sure once we're legally allowed to,
Sure.
we're going to be returning to in-person conventions. I know that the two that I was a part of for 80s Wrestling Con before the pandemic hit were a lot of fun, very well done. So...
Yeah, Michael, thank you, Michael.
Michael Overstreet and to Michael in silver.
Lots of Mike and Michael, huh? Yeah, that's good.
I'm going to edit this one question just a little bit because, you know, who knows why things happen the way they do. But Kyle James asked, why'd you all split in the WWF? But do you remember how they broke that news to you, that you guys were going separate ways?
Yeah, they kind of came up and they had like
This is just a signature.
some designs that they had made up showing, you know, if we go singles, this is what we would be looking like and that stuff, you know. And they said they actually wanted to separate us because they wanted me to go work with Hogan, and they wanted Barb to work with Warrior.
Right.
Oh, okay.
That's exactly what they wanted.
Right.
And
It
you
never
know,
happened.
it's-
Never happened.
it never, as a lot of things, it never goes all the way through.
Absolutely.
You
Yeah.
know, never does.
Did you guys still travel together, or?
Well, we were in different towns a lot of times. I remember we were running 2 towns a night.
Okay.
So we were in different towns a lot of that stuff, you know.
Yeah.
We always stayed in touch all the
Signature.
time.
Your
signature.
We were just in different towns.
Yeah, they had the A shows, the B shows.
Yeah, A and show B shows.
Okay. What are they?
Okay, Anthony. Thank you, Anthony.
You definitely want to be on A shows because then you got steak for the week. If you're on the B shows, you got hamburger. Oh yeah, big difference.
To Michael.
Silver.
Another Michael Warlord.
Yeah, we were talking with Ron Simmons about that last week, about how, because I was always fascinated by the fact, as a stand-up comic, I always used eating poorly as an excuse for being on the road, and then I thought about what you guys went through, and he just said it was a lot of Waffle House steaks, 4 or 5 at a time.
Right. I like waffle. Quick service.
And especially when having to drive to the next town, you don't really have many options.
Michael, thank you. Thank you, Michael.
All right, silver just signature, Mr. Warlord there. And then while he's doing that, we got a silver just signature also for Anthony DeSimone for the Barbarian.
Silver. Just signature.
Lowell Reed is saying, you guys were still the tag team champs when you left the NWA, correct? Is that true?
6-man.
6-man.
We were 6-man tag team champs with Ivan Koloff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, there you go, Lowell. 6-man tag champs with Mr. Koloff.
Yeah.
Brandon Lockwich, always enjoyed your tag team, but I was very young at the time, so you guys were scary. Any memories of working in Pittsburgh? Fernando
yeah.
Cruz in Massachusetts.
Yeah, I remember working in Pittsburgh. I don't know if I was. I don't think I was in a tag at the time. I was singles, and I did my match, and I remember it was packed too. I mean, Pittsburgh was a great arena, and the place was packed. And they wanted me to run in on a Big Boss Man's match later on and do something with Big Boss Man. And I just remember the adrenaline rush I had when I ran down that thing. And here I was 320 pounds at the time, and I could run. And just hitting that ring and doing the thing with Boss Man out there, boom, boom, finally he gives me a big, huge bump, boom, and I roll out and that stuff, you know. And the people just going nuts.
Yeah.
You know.
And he was a hell of a worker.
Yes, he was.
I mean,
Big
that guy,
Boss
the
Man.
way he moved.
Yes, he was.
Yeah,
he
for a big man.
He was agile. It's like my partner here. Just agile. Very, very agile.
I remember that one spot he used to always do where he'd slide into the bottom rope and then come up with the fist.
I liked it where he could say, you keep hitting him, and his back would just bend like an arch.
Fernando.
How does he not go down?
Thank you, Fernando.
I mean, he's like bent
Thank you.
like this all the way over, and he's still not going down. It's like, oh my gosh, wow.
I remember there was a Royal Rumble where he had a singles match against Bam Bam Bigelow, and I said to myself, why didn't they take that and just put it everywhere all over the country? Because the way those guys worked,
Yep.
I mean, both of them. This is for Alan in the UK. To Alan, that's for Warlord. And then Mr. Barbarian, this is for you, Joseph Gardella, Bronx, New York. I'm going to try to get your solos together.
Joseph. Blake. Joseph.
Andrew, that question was answered about the bench press. I believe it was 650 pounds for Warlord and 615 for Barbarian.
Yeah,
Don't
640 for me and 615 for Barb.
There you go. 80swrestlingcon.com. You can see the interview over the next couple of days.
Joseph. Joseph, thank you.
All right. This is Marcelino in Las Vegas. That's for you, Black.
Blake.
David Geyer says, did you guys have a favorite manager? Can I go out on a limb and assume it was Fuji?
Fuji. Fuji. Paul. I like Paul. I like Paul.
Paul was very, very
Yeah,
good
Paul
too.
was good.
Paul was very good also.
Yeah, Paul Jones.
Just that with Fuji, we spent a lot of time with him all the time. He was right on the road with him all the time. So we spent a lot of time with Fuji. A lot.
And everything I've heard about the ribs too, I also feel like he doesn't get enough credit because you hear many guys talk about how much knowledge he would share as well.
Oh yeah, he's after every match, he would always sit down with us. We'd be in the car. And he says, guys, and he'd go over the match with us. And you learn from that all the time.
Yeah.
You'd always learn every single day. Every match you're learning.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, every match.
David in Converse, Texas, to David in black.
David.
Nick Lagamba, do you guys recall wrestling in Niagara Falls, New York?
Yep, wrestled at the one building up there several times.
Convention.
Yeah, we'd always fly into Buffalo and have to go up to we'd have to go up to the convention center up in Niagara Falls all the time.
Yeah, downtown.
Yeah, and it was nice.
Yeah.
It was nice. Nice building.
Jeremy Harris, how did it feel to know that your Royal Rumble record is now broken?
Someone broke it?
I think it was, what, Santino?
I want to see that over again because I still think I got it.
Santino broke Warlord's record.
I still think I got. But you know what though?
David,
I still got
That's
the
for you.
biggest name in
That's
wrestling to
okay.
put me
Thank
over
you.
backwards. Hulk Hogan.
There you go.
He can't touch that.
Yeah.
Okay, I went up, I posed, I turned in the ring. As soon as I came in, Hogan was right there. Boom, gave me that.
he was
clothesline.
posting. He was posting.
And you know the funny thing about that whole thing is, I had never gone over backwards over the top rope ever before that. And I had to get up there early that day, and Fuji was teaching me, and to teach me how to go over backwards. And I shredded all my pants I was wearing. I ripped them all going over that top rope. So afterwards, I had to wear like these shorts afterwards when I had to go back on the road again until I was able to find some pants again to wear.
Right.
But that's how I learned. We went out there, did about 10 times that afternoon. I learned how to do it. So I was ready for Hogan that night.
Yeah.
One of the questions I always wondered was, obviously certain spots for the Royal Rumble are planned, but are there certain times where they say, all right, figure out when you're going out, or do they know, okay, you're going to be eliminated by this guy and such and such?
Yeah, you just kind of know. You have a thing where it just kind of comes together. Put it that way. It just comes together, guys. You got to remember, all these guys have been doing this for so long. When you finally make it back then, unlike now, where you can just developmental school and be put right into WWE now. These guys all went through a lot of territories. Barb went through Puerto Rico. He went through I think Texas. He went through Georgia. Then he went to NWA and finally to WWF. I went to NWA. I went to lovely Kansas City, back to the NWA, and then WWF. So you've been in all these different territories. So all the guys finally came together in WWF. You had all this experience from all these different territories. You could work anybody's style at any time. And you could put all these guys in the ring and never work together, and they could have one heck of a great match together in that stuff.
Now, even in a Survivor Series 88 situation where it's 20 guys, 10 on 10, there's not much planning that goes into that? It's just
Not much, no.
Wow.
No,
That's
just
awesome.
guys been doing it for so long. You know how each other works. You understand the business. You understand how it works.
Yeah.
You don't need to. You make it happen.
There you go.
You make it happen.
No, it's amazing. So go back and watch Survivor Series 88 if you have the WWE Network, because the fact that they could have that much humanity in one ring and put on a great match, it's very impressive. This is to Ben in the United Kingdom. That is for Warlord.
Too bad.
And then, because what I'll do is when he has a solo, I'll give him a solo. So we'll keep him over. Okay. All right.
Hope the UK will open up someday again.
Yeah. UK Ben.
There you go.
All right, so this
Thank
is
you.
for
Thank you, Ben.
Anthony Crowley in Lynn, Massachusetts. He's got a solo Barbarian and a solo Warlord. He wants both of those in black.
Anthony.
Nick Lagamba is asking if you have a wrestling school in Florida. I don't know if
No,
that's...
I'm thinking to open one, but just don't have time.
I'll let Barb do his.
I don't have time to Anthony.
I love the sport, but I don't care for what it is today.
Well, a lot of guys say that.
And right now, I'm just so busy in South Florida, I don't have time for any of that stuff.
All
And I don't have the
Hey,
patience
Tim,
no more for it either.
Anthony, thank you, Anthony.
Yeah, I would imagine that nowadays it would be difficult too, because the business has changed so much that it's like you have your philosophy, then there's different. So it is interesting though. I mean,
And no matter how you teach them, you still got to go through WWE developmental school to get any kind of chance to go to WWE. So it doesn't matter. You can do whatever, teach them. They're still going to have to, if they get a chance to go there, and then they're going to be all torn down again and start from scratch again.
Yeah.
And that's what happens because they train them their way.
Yeah.
So,
We got 2 more solo shots from Matt in Princeton, Illinois. He's got a solo Barbarian in black and a solo Warlord in black.
Matt.
Don't forget, guys, 80swrestlingcon.com. Any future signing that you order tonight, Wendy Richter through Dean Malenko at the end of July, you're going to get a free Coco Beware autographed 8x10. 80swrestlingcon.com.
Thank you, Matt.
There you go.
For all the upcoming
Thank you,
signings.
Matt.
Now we got Sean McBride in Danville, Illinois.
Black.
Yep.
Sean.
Carlos Restrepo, and this is a question that's always fascinated me, especially during that era, because so many guys had different variations. Did you paint your own faces before every match, or did you have someone do it for you?
Not at first I didn't, because I did not know how to paint. Actually, Barb helped me.
Yeah.
And we actually went through a bunch of different designs till we finally came up with one that I really liked and Barb liked too.
Yeah.
And they went together, our facial paint went together very, very well then. But at first Barb would do it. Barb hated doing mine because he'd have to do his then mine.
Yeah.
And it was a pain. And he said, Daddy, you got to learn to do your own. And I learned quick.
I like it
learned
because it always kind of reminded me of I'm a big Batman mark, and I always kind of saw like a little bit of the Batman, especially in this one.
You know,
with the black and
it's a
yellow.
little, mine was a little, everybody says, I never, I love Kiss, but I never wanted to copy Gene Simmons.
Yeah, remind me.
You know, and also reminds me of the Batman, the Batman thing up
Yeah.
there. When you put it together, it looks like that, like the Batman too. And that
Well,
stuff,
if you had
know?
actually copied Gene Simmons, you would have been sued because Gene
Yeah.
Simmons loves to sue.
Yeah.
So I think you're okay.
No, I never did. And believe me, I love Kiss as a group. They're one of my favorite groups of all time.
Oh, without a
But
doubt.
Okay, who's
you
that?
know, it was just
Okay,
that's just
Paul.
the design that came to my mind.
Okay,
It just
Sean.
fit real well.
Yeah, no, it was a
Powers
great
of Pain
look.
forever. Thank you, Sean.
All right, so these are for William D. Michelle in Easton, Pennsylvania. He wants just signatures in red. Just signatures
Red.
in red.
Yeah,
Red,
red.
right here.
That's
Red.
red.
Oh, you got a red there too?
Red on both.
Red.
Red on both. Red on both. Barb.
Right. Just a signature. Huh?
Yeah.
Paul Leake wants to know if you guys ever wrestled each other.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't-
Atlanta, Georgia, the Omni Barb. When you were Paul Jones and I was a babyface at the time. Remember I was green in the business. I was just starting.
I don't remember that.
Oh yeah, I remember.
So I didn't beat him up too much. Huh?
No, you got mad at me because I was beating you up too much.
All right.
Brother, take it easy,
Take
brother.
it easy.
Take it easy,
Oh,
brother.
He was killing it.
Yeah, take it easy, brother.
You know, when he first came into the NWA, when we take and the guys were begging me, please, Bob, don't take him. Don't take him, Bob. Please stay. I said, brother, I had to take him sometimes. Please stay home. Please don't take him.
You got to remember, man. Well, I learned from the same school the Road Warriors did, and they were stiff as a rock when they came in. I learned from Eddie Sharkey in Minnesota, and so you're taught to be super stiff because Eddie would just bring us there, and then Eddie would always be drunk every morning. So Eddie would go up and get coffee, and he said, "Guys, just practice your punches to the chest." Oh, we practiced the punch to the chest. We were all black and blue, blood coming down, everything else and that stuff. We didn't know any better.
Yeah. Right.
That's what we did.
You were stiffy.
And we didn't have a ring. We were in the bottom of a church downstairs. It's like 20 below zero outside. We got these huge sweats on. All that the steam's coming out of your mouth and your body, and you're sitting there doing all this stuff down there, killing each other. But that's how I learned. That's how I learned through.
Well, even as a young kid watching you guys, with Demolition, you guys just beat the hell out of
Yeah,
it.
so when I came in,
Demolition, they hit
when
hard.
I came in, it was
They
just
hit hard.
Yeah, you were just stiff as a rock.
Yeah.
But I remember working with Barb, the Omni, as a single that one time, and I remember Barb said, "Brother, take it easy a little bit, brother. Take it easy,
on me."
brother." Because I was just so hyper because the place was packed. I'd never
I had
seen
family
this
to
kind of
feed.
crowd.
Easy on me.
You know what I'm saying? I'd never seen that kind of crowd before.
It was
So I
killing everyone.
I was just pumped up, ready to go on that stuff. But it was enjoyable. I loved it.
There you go.
I loved every second of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, when that adrenaline's pumping behind 350 pounds of solid muscle,
you.
bad things might happen. This one is for Ben in Louisiana, in red. Ben,
Right.
to Ben.
Too bad.
Man, nice red. I like
How
that.
come you got a better red than I do?
Huh?
I'm gonna take your red. You got a better red than I do.
Really?
Yeah.
Plenty of markers, whatever you guys feel best
correct.
with.
That's why I probably didn't do it.
Thank you, Daryl.
You had mentioned
Teamwork,
Kansas City
huh?
earlier. Well, Randy Barra
Ben,
said any memories of
Thank
Harley
you,
Race?
man.
Harley was there long before me. I came in long after Harley there.
Okay.
I came in when Bulldog Bob Brown and Bob Geiger ran it. What a twin set they were. They were something else. Talk about shysters. They were like Kansas City gangsters that running wrestling out there. And the trips, 350 miles one way every single day somewhere. And you get $50. You have to chase that $50 down to get it from them. Because you would get paid at the end of the week. So you go down to the office where they're at, and you go in the front to beep it, and they would sneak down the back stairs to get out of there before you could get your money. They take us. We used to always go in where one would ring it, and the other would be sitting in the back waiting for it to come down the stairs.
Okay.
How long were you in Kansas City for?
About 9 months of misery.
Oh, wow.
Misery.
months of misery.
Misery State or misery?
9 months of misery.
This one's for Brian in my hometown from North Bergen, New Jersey. Brian.
New Jersey. Brian. Okay, let's see here. Brian.
J.R. Sanchez, that question was answered about the team splitting. Warlord was supposed to work with Hogan. Barbarian was supposed to work with Warrior.
Right.
Guys, any questions that have been covered already, you can go to 80swrestlingcon.com when this full signing is posted. And you can watch. There's so many great signings that are already up there, even from before I took over as host.
Brian,
So
New
check those
Jersey.
out.
Brian, thank you.
All right. Matt Stevens says, my best friend and I would pose like you guys would when we were kids, and we kept doing it even on our high school graduation day. I'm sure the principal was thrilled with that.
That's cool.
All
That's
right.
cool.
Here's Ryan.
nice.
Dermott.
That's okay. If they were in there, we would have tagged them too. They go and do our job, and we'll watch.
Hey,
Yeah.
this is to Ryan. Thanks for being a fan. You're red. Powers of Pain.
Thanks for being a fan.
Thanks for being nice, yeah. Wow.
To Brian. To
Oh,
Brian.
man, let me,
That's a lot to say.
let me squeeze if I can. Brian, thanks for being a fan.
J.R. Sanchez brought up Barbarian being managed by, in my opinion, the greatest all-around performer in the history of the business, Bobby
Bobby
Heenan.
Heenan.
Bobby Heenan.
I'm sure Bobby Heenan, I could just imagine making me laugh from the moment I got to the building to the moment I would leave, because I don't think there was really anybody funnier than Bobby Heenan.
Yeah, he's a very smart individual too. Very knowledgeable in the business.
Could do anything.
Yes. Anything.
Very smart.
Anything.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe underneath.
That's a lot.
Yeah, Ryan.
All right.
Yeah, thank you, Ryan.
For Doug Harvey in Galesburg, Illinois, in red to Doug.
To Doug. That's an easy one.
And Craig Southall says, I'm sorry, not Craig Southall, he's underneath. Craig Wilbur. Did the guys have a favorite ref to work their matches? Any referees say that you enjoyed working with more?
Oh, Earl Hebner was always great.
Earl Hebner.
I mean, he was
Yeah.
just a great referee. I mean,
Tommy Young.
Tommy Young and NWA.
Tommy Young, NWA. Tommy Young was incredible. Those two are probably, I think, the two best referees that I was around.
Right.
Very, very good. Oh, Danny too. Danny Davis.
Danny.
Danny
Dangerous
Davis.
Danny.
I love
Danny
Danny.
was excellent too. Danny
Danny
he was
Davis.
also a good worker too.
Yeah.
Good
He was a good worker too.
Danny's
Yeah, Danny was very, very good. Yes, he's right there.
Yeah.
And one other in WWF that took around Andre all the time.
Yeah.
Timmy White.
Tim was incredible too.
Yeah, Tim was good.
Yes, WWF had some great referees.
I never-
Okay, Tom.
They really did.
I never met Timmy, but I've heard.
House of Pain.
Great
Thank you, Bob.
referees, great referees, great referees.
All right.
I'll tell you what, that referee can make your match or break your match too.
Oh, without a doubt.
Totally.
Even on the indies and the small level,
Yes,
I mean, some of
they
these
can
guys.
make or break your match.
100%.
That's why you're there. You work with them, and they'll work with you, and you have an incredible match.
You know, I like indie. I love working indie. They bring the old style, old school style. Huh?
Yes.
Yeah, I like indie.
This is for Ralph.
Not every night. Not every night. I
Once in a
cannot
blue
do every
moon.
night. Yeah.
Ralph Barbado in Staten Island, New York. This is for Barbarian. To Ralph.
Rough. Hey.
One, see that verb says that from one barbarian to another.
Yeah.
I guess you got an idol. You got a second on a barbarian.
From one barbarian to another. just like that.
Yeah, from one barbarian to another.
Oh, he is the barbarian. From one barbarian. From one barbarian.
He's saying thank you for the long autograph, much appreciated.
Oh,
We're gonna start
he
charging
make me
extra.
work,
buddy.
yeah? To another. Our design,
Yep.
eh? Eh? Our design.
Barbarian.
Barbarian, huh?
There you go. That's nice.
Okay, Ruff. Yeah, here you go, Ruff. Yeah,
There's your book.
yeah, that's for you, Ruff. Thank you.
All right, Ryan.
Yeah, like a book.
Ryan Evans in Forest Hill, Maryland. To Ryan, Powers of Pain in red. Don't forget, guys, 80swrestlingcon.com. Full list of upcoming signings. Going to read them off real quick. Right now, we're with the Powers of Pain till 10 p.m. But March 8th, we have Wendy Richter. March 22nd, we got Ace Cowboy Bob Orton along with Craig DeGeorge for his first ever signing. April 19th, we got the ECW Extreme signing. April 26th, Stan Hansen. May 10th, Ken Patera.
Sign, yeah.
May 17th, Eric Rowan. May 17th, Darren Young. May 24th, Nikita Koloff. June 7th, my old buddies, the Rock and Roll Express. June 21st, the Head Shrinkers. June 28th, Billy Gunn. July 5th, Tyrus, formerly known as Brodus Clay.
Tyrus.
And July 26th, Dean Malenko. If you order for any of those signings tonight, we're going to throw in a free Coco Beware 8x10 autograph.
Okay, Ryan. Thank you, Ryan.
All right, this is for Sam in St. Michael, Pennsylvania, to Sam Chernicki. Sam Chernicki.
Sam.
Is there ever anything that, like, when we used to do the signings in person before, the old normal, as I guess we could call it now, was there ever anything that anybody put before you that kind of you didn't even know existed, like just like a rare piece of memorabilia from anything in your career? Or?
There's a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff that I didn't know he was around.
Yeah.
Didn't even have a clue.
Yeah.
You know, fans know everything before we ever do, long before we ever do. You know, it's just the way it is.
Yeah.
When I had my last action figure out, that came out, I remember I was in Orlando for when they had the WrestleMania that weekend, and I was doing a big signing, and I sat down at a table with a bunch of fans. They said, "Hey, Warlord, you know you got another action figure coming?" I said, "I don't know." They said, "Yeah, man, it's gonna be coming out next month." I said, "Well, that's news to me because I don't have a clue on this." They know long before I ever do. Long. I also heard I got another one coming out in August coming up.
Oh wow. Okay.
And
well,
the
now
guy-
they're incredible.
Yeah, the guy sent me a link to it, and he said, "Man," he said, "Here," he said, "you know, you got another one." I said, "I don't know. I heard, but I don't know." Yeah, here it is, and it's gonna be a Walmart exclusive too.
Oh wow.
Which I said, "That's cool, you know," but I didn't have a clue.
There you go.
Didn't even have a clue.
Yeah, as a kid, I always played
Sam,
the
thank you,
LJNs
Sam.
and the Hasbros,
Yeah.
but now when you look at the detail in these figures and the way that they
Mattel
pose
is, I
and
mean,
move,
Mattel does it so good. But you know, Jax did a great job.
Jax was great, too.
The LBJ's, the first ones, those are. I mean, I was lucky enough to get one of those, and those things are worth a lot of money now.
well, there's a whole story too behind your LJN figures,
Yeah,
which we'll
there's-
probably get to. I don't know if anybody had.
No one has sent in any LJN.
Because they're very hard to get.
Yeah.
My mom has one. She goes, "Terry, you're gonna sign this for me right now." She signed it right away for her. You know, I said, "Mom, I'm not gonna die tomorrow. I hope."
Oh God forbid.
You know, hope not yet.
Let's hope not.
I'd pop though if your mom put it on eBay. There you go. Like you said, I'm just playing. Jen Rob in Riverbank, California. Just Signature and Powers of Pain. We were laughing last week because Ron Simmons was telling us that his WCW magazine, his wife ordered like hundreds of them when he was on the cover, and there was a little bit of a bidding war during the auction. So
Oh, yeah.
I always laugh that it's always family and friends that are your biggest fans.
Oh yeah, that's right. I know I got my little 10-year-old grandson, Jalen, that I'll bring him to shows with me, and I got to paint his face just like mine.
There you go.
So I had to run around. Barb knows that. He's got that face painted all the time, same as mine.
Right.
And one time, I remember I was doing an independent show, and I was just going to manage this show. That's it. I wasn't going to wrestle. So I walk out there, you know, and boom, I walk around the ring. I come to my side. I turn around. He's standing right next to me. He followed me all the way through everything, around the whole thing, and he's like, "Okay, if you're going to be here, I'm going to be here with you."
That's awesome.
I mean, wow. Okay.
That's got to make you feel incredible.
How old was he now?
10.
10.
10 now.
And aside from being a huge fan of his grandfather, is he a big wrestling fan aside from that? Or
He knows some of the names, but he really doesn't watch it and that stuff.
All right, for Patrick Mayberry in Westlake, Ohio. Patrick Mayberry.
Right.
Red.
At every one of these signings, I always ask, and Mark Gladham just brought it up, do you have any memories of Owen Hart? Any of the fun hijinks that he used to get involved in?
The one I remember from Owen is we were training at the Golds in Denver, Colorado. And Davey Boy was there, Owen was there, I was there, we're training. And I remember Davey, he'd always want to go get a tan after he'd work out. So he'd go get tan, he'd get all done up, go into the tanning bed, they turn on for him. And again, Owen would go like this, of course. He'd go up to it, as soon as he turn on, he'd get about a minute there, click, he'd turn it off. David would come up, how come the tanning bed's not working? It was on, it was super off. And the person goes, I had it on, you know. I did it on, I did tan, you know. So he'd go back in there, they turn it on. Owen would go, sneak up there after David's in for 1 minute, click. So David come back out again, just, what's wrong with this tanning bed? It's not working here and that stuff. I need to get this tan right now. The guy goes, I don't know, man. We've had it on and that stuff, you know. So he goes back in there again. And Owen would wait about 2 minutes this time. Click. Now Davey's been going in and out for about half an hour. He's got about 5 minutes of tan on him. And he's pissed off. And Owen's just having a great time doing this. He just kept, he gave him about a couple minutes, click, couple minutes, click. Every single time. You know, Davey got nothing out of it. He was so mad.
And it's amazing that after a while he didn't put two and two together, but that was Owen's style, it seems. Nobody ever was
That was Owen. And Owen's another one that was an incredible worker.
Oh, without a doubt.
Yeah, Owen was a great worker, man. And a nice guy.
Didn't they actually reunite you guys? That was your last match. I think I read that somewhere.
We actually did a match with
him
Owen.
and Coco.
No, we did a match with Owen, and actually Owen and Jim Neidhart in the Boston Garden.
Okay, the new foundation. That's
yes,
correct.
and it was packed, and the match was, it was a solid.
So it was
great
Owen
match.
and Night.
And Jimmy. Yeah, remember that part? Remember that? Remember that's at the end where I hit you with the clothesline, boom, they covered 1, 2, 3, and then you came up to me and asked, you got mad, and I put my hand behind my back, like, would you turn, I was going to slug you. Yeah. And the people, because and then also at the end, I want to give a big hug. We worked the people, they thought we were going to turn on each other.
Because you guys already had the singles run going.
Right.
Owen,
Yeah. That was a great match with those guys, great match.
Yeah, I love always hearing Owen Hart stories. That they always make my night. Lowell Reed, big fan of 80s wrestling, one of our regulars. Red to Lowell, Powers of Pain. Samuel Chernicki says, thank you for the autograph, I appreciate it. We appreciate you, Sam, 80swrestlingcon.com. For anybody else who's watching this live on Facebook and wants to join in, we're going to be here with the Powers of Pain until 10 p.m. The online store will be open until 9:30. Don't forget any of our upcoming signings. Our next one is March 8th with Wendy Richter. If you make an order tonight, you're going to get an autographed Coco Beware 8x10 for any of the upcoming signings.
Coco Beware.
Wendy Richter, March 8th through Dean Malenko, July 26th. Place that order tonight. Get that free Coco Beware 8x10.
Lowell, thank you. Thank you, Lowell.
All right, Jeff Kerman in Illinois. To Jeff, thanks for being a fan. Stay bad in red.
All right, Barb, you got to write that down too. Thanks for being a fan. Stay bad. He's got better handwriting than I do. You would never understand mine.
No, you're right. I don't speak English now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Barb's pulling a rib on me now.
So it's your turn now.
Now you're turning.
I forgot English.
Now you're turning. Now you're turning really heel on me now, Barb.
I forgot English.
True heel.
Lowell Reed, who you just signed for, my first ever live wrestling event was in October 1988 at the County Fairgrounds in Roseburg, Oregon. You guys wrestled Nikolai Volkov and Boris Zukov. Ted DiBiase and Hacksaw wrestled in the main event. Great time for a 10-year-old boy. Lowell, thanks for sharing that memory. We always love hearing stuff like that. 80swrestlingcon.com. Share out this virtual signing right now.
Man, you write better than me.
No, I don't.
I have terrible handwriting myself.
No, I don't. I'm not good at handwriting.
I write better.
But see, like me, you at least acknowledge it. You said it took a while to learn how to do the face paint.
I'm Polish. I'm Polish. I don't write good.
What's his name, Jeff? Okay, Jeff, thank you.
Thank you, Jeff.
Thank you, Jeff. Also pain all the way.
Thorsten Fritz says to the Barbarian, you had a match in '91 on TV against the Berserker, a rare heel versus heel match.
I don't remember that. Did I? Single?
Yeah.
Like we got to pull up on YouTube to remind you? You losing your thought now?
Yeah, getting old, man.
He doesn't remember, but he wanted to know if they were planning on turning you face. So if you don't remember,
So who was the face?
well, you guys were both heels,
Heel,
and so
right,
he's asking.
That's right, I don't remember.
Yeah, he's asking if
So
it was on TV.
heel match, huh?
Yeah, I don't remember that either, and I used to
don't
watch
remember.
every Saturday and
I
Sunday.
don't remember.
I had one with Hercules.
You know, wasn't he a face for a long time?
I
though?
think it might have come face at the end, yeah. I think
Yeah.
it became face.
I remember I was working Hercules. I don't remember Berserker.
Yeah.
Hercules was another strong man.
Yes, he was. Yes, he was.
Yeah, he was
Yes, he
strong.
was.
He was strong.
Angie from Piscataway to Angie. Nice and simple, no novel there.
Angie.
Pete
Right.
Martin, why was my question skipped? Pete, it's a chat. We're trying to get to as many people as we can. Warlord and Barbarian are being very engaging, but again, this is not a shoot interview. It is a virtual signing. So ask your question again. If it hasn't been asked, we will try to get to it.
Yeah,
But
just
don't
ask
forget
question.
80swrestlingcon.com.
Yeah,
You can watch
not-
the videos
not
of
long-
all of
not
the
long
signings.
question. Yeah, Angie. Thank you, man.
Randy Barrow says your heel turn was better than Hogan forming the NWO. Look at that. Survivor Series 88. Greg in Pennsylvania. Red to Greg.
Greg the Hammer Valentine.
He was here for one of the signings.
Oh, he
I
was
wasn't hosting that one, but he was here.
I call him Turtle.
Yeah. He was about the same speed as a turtle.
I
man.
call him Turtle. I call him Turtle first.
I've
Now
heard-
everybody call him Turtle.
I've worked independent shows with him. I think he's a
Oh, he's
blast.
great.
He's a
Greg's funny. He's funny, man.
Yeah. Greg, thank you.
All right, this one is for Andy in Mount Prospect, Illinois. To Andy in red.
To Andy.
Andy. Andy. Thank you, Andy. Yeah. Appreciate you.
Ben Tilley in Louisiana. To Ben.
Yeah.
80swrestlingcon.com. Don't forget the store is going to be open until 9:30. If you want any of these signings from Warlord or Barbarian, either solo or together as Powers of Pain, we have them both here till 10 p.m., so get those orders in. The store is going to be open for about another hour and 10 minutes.
Ben.
To Ben. There you go, Ben.
Yeah, here you go, Ben. Thank you.
This one, Christopher Curtis. Once again, I didn't realize this place existed until a few weeks ago. Moscow, Idaho. No idea.
I've heard of him before. Heard of
Oh,
Moscow,
there you go.
yeah, I've heard
You
of
guys have been everywhere, all over the world. There you go, to Chris in blue.
I know Idaho.
The one thing I remember about going to
Oh, blue.
Idaho, we wrestled in Boise one time, and it was the first show over there for WWF. The place was just packed. And I remember to get there, it was a small plane, and it's the only way for Andre to get there.
Oh, boy.
And Andre had to get on board that small plane.
Wow.
And let me tell you, that was something to see with all of us guys and Andre in the very front. And they had to put him in front because they put him back. The plane would go like this.
Nice.
Wow.
So you have to redistribute all the. So they had to move us all around strategically so the plane wouldn't go down
Oh, my God.
because of the weight involved.
Yeah.
You know, so much weight.
No, blue.
Blue.
Get a blue.
Okay.
I'm sure it's amazing when you think back on some of the things you guys experienced that would never fly today. Like, you know, with the way that society has changed.
I couldn't travel like the way we traveled. We traveled so much.
Okay,
I
Chris.
couldn't do that no
This
more.
for you,
Not
Chris.
with the,
Thank you, Chris.
Now with the TSA the way it is now and the COVID things now, and you can't do it.
All right, Jose Terrazas in Long Beach, California. Blue to Jose. Blue
Another
to
blue
Jose.
and Bart.
Oh, shit.
Now we're up to the blue. We're black. We're silver. We're red. Now we're blue.
Thorsten Fritz is bringing up those European tours. He said 1983 in Germany.
Oh, that was a great tour.
You, Ultimate Warrior, Greg Valentine, Jake Roberts, Hercules.
Yeah.
That sounds like a wild crew in
It
itself.
was also what's his name? I guess he just died last week or 2 weeks ago.
Butch Reed?
Butch Reed. I worked with Butch Reed, and Butch Reed was great.
Old
He
school.
was great.
He's old
Butch was great. That was. I got a big story on that tour, man. That was.
Jose. Jose.
That
thank
tour
you.
had.
Thank you,
It
Jose.
was so packed. I mean, every show was sold out. It was amazing.
This one's to Ben.
Ben, bien.
And those were what, 2-week tours, 3-week tours?
It was supposed to be 3 weeks, ended up being 2 weeks. It was actually a big concert promoter that put on the shows. He did all the rock and roll promotions coming to Europe, all that stuff. So he knew how to put on a great show. I mean, he had a system like Vincent for WWF. It was amazing.
Wow.
The sound system he had, the lights he had. I mean, it was just like Vince's shows. It was amazing how good it was. And it was just, I loved everybody on it because the guys were great on it. Everybody was so good. You know, the promoter that took us there from the States, he was just not a good person.
Yeah.
And I personally got rid of him and then asked to work with the German promoters. They'll work with us the rest of the tour.
It's for you, Ben.
You know,
Thank you, Ben.
It worked out great then.
And I'm sure a lot of it has to do with feeding off the crowd. I say it every week that growing up here in North Jersey and then later on the Jersey Shore, we were spoiled. We could go to shows in Atlantic City, Philly, Asbury Park, North Jersey, New York. If you're in Europe, WWE is coming to town, what, once a year?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
those fans are stoked,
Yeah.
they're ready to go,
Yes,
and
they
that
are.
just made you guys feed off of that.
Yes.
So Eric Cooper in Colorado, to Eric in blue.
To Eric and Blue. There we go.
That's why I do look forward to the days when fans can go back to WWE events, because I think these guys definitely deserve it after what they've had to endure the last
Oh, yeah.
year wrestling
Listen,
in empty rooms.
The fans, us and the fans, we work together.
Yeah.
They help make us. We help, and with them, it makes the matches that much better, even much better.
80swrestlingcon.com for all the upcoming signings. Don't forget, we're going to be back on March 8th with Wendy Richter. We got signings right now scheduled through July 26th, but if you just go to the website, you'll always see the upcoming signings
Yeah,
that are available.
Eric. Eric, it's for you, Eric. Thank you.
And
Thank
if
you,
you
Eric.
place an order tonight, you're going to get that complimentary Coco Beware autograph photo. This one's to Adam McCall. To Adam in Newton, North Carolina. To
How
Adam.
about you, Barb?
Oh, yeah, Newton.
Dennis Grenell Jr. Ryan Moore is definitely a great host. Hopefully Tommy Fierro is paying him well. I'll let you inbox Tommy, but you can keep putting that in the chat too. But thank you, Dennis. These are a lot of fun to do. I'm just getting
Put it
to...
on the chat, I'm gonna block him.
He says if that gets put on the chat, you're going to be blocked. Cliff Smalling, you mentioned Kiss before. He wants to know what kind of music do you guys listen to? Is it mostly, I picture you guys as a hard rock type.
I'm not really hard rock. I like rock and roll. I mean, I always grew up with. I grew up in Minnesota, so it was AC/DC. Grew up with Kiss, Kansas, Boston.
Kansas.
All the great rock and roll music and that stuff. I'm really not into the heavy rock. Heavy rock's just a little too much. I mean, maybe the only one I like is Judas Priest.
Okay.
I like Judas Priest, but
I like Who.
You like the Who? All right.
Who?
Who?
because you're good at saying
You mean Jim Neidhart? He was Who?
I like Who.
Come on, nobody popped for that? Never mind.
Yeah.
who was good. Who was good? Who was good?
All right, this is for Cody in Clinton, Iowa. Cody in Clinton, Iowa, in blue.
In blue.
Powers of Pain.
Please, 8 hours, man, for sure.
Ricky Berger said asked any specific memories of working the Spectrum in Philly?
Yeah, this is a rib that Marty Jannetty played on me.
Oh, I love Marty, so let's hear it. Let's hear it.
I had been to Spectrum maybe 3 months in a row now. So, after you've been there a couple months, people kind of get bored of you a little bit, because you've been there a bunch of times in a row. So I'm walking out with my Warlord outfit, the pads and everything and that stuff. I'm walking the ring, and all the people are cheering. Yeah. I get ready, God dang, man. I said, Jesus, people still love me after I've been there like 3 or 4 times in a row, I said, dang, man, maybe I'm getting over pretty good here now, I take out my mask, I take out my pads, and as I turn around, I said, what the heck is this on the back? I turn around, it's got a goddamn Playboy centerfold on the back of it that Marty plastered on the back of me as I was going to the ring.
Oh,
So
that's great. That is great.
I said, Marty, and I look out there, and here's Marty just laughing away. He was cracking up.
Yeah, I got to know Marty a little bit
He was
when he was
laughing,
living in
man.
New Jersey. What a fun guy. I can imagine.
Marty's a great guy. I love Marty.
I love Marty.
Love Marty.
Thank you, Cody. It's for Cody.
I remember I went to a bar with him the
Thank
one day,
you,
just
sir.
the way he was talking about Miss Ma'am.
Oh, man, Marty.
Lisa
I love Marty.
Lisa Caveller, it's to the Caveller This is, I always screw this up. It's Queller, right? C-U, it's not V. That's a U, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. I just double checking.
Queller?
Lisa Queller in California. They're regulars, so I will remember your name from now on. I promise you, Queller family.
The Queller family.
Okay. Color family.
80swrestlingcon.com. All the upcoming signings are listed there. If you place your order tonight for any of those future signings, you get that free autograph Coco Beware 8x10. Here they are right here. We got a couple different ones to choose from. Well, I don't think it's going to be a choice. I think you're going to get whichever one we send you, but that's okay. It's free. Just place your order tonight for any of the upcoming signings. Also, don't forget 80s Wrestling, the podcast. New episode every Thursday on iTunes. Social media, Instagram, at Ryan Moore Comedy, at 80s Wrestling,
Queller.
Twitter at 80s Wrestling, and of course the Facebook 80s Wrestling group. Always great conversations.
Okay, to the Color family.
Yep.
Thank you. Powers of Pain. Thank you.
All right, this is for Robert in California. To Robert, Powers of Pain in blue.
Powers of Pain in blue.
Powers of Pain. Powers of Pain. Robin.
Randy Barrow, I just want to give a shout out to Vivacious Vicky, awesome pro wrestler and great pre-show host. So there you go, Vicky. Lowell Reed wants to know if either of you, obviously, aside from each other, keep in touch with any of the boys on a regular basis. If so,
Yeah, some.
Yeah, I pretty much keep in touch with Barb all the time. I used to keep in touch with Animal quite a bit. I miss Joe. I miss
yeah,
him.
my condolences. That one was a big shock.
I don't know, man.
That was a very big shock.
Yeah. That's for you, Robert. Thank you. Thank you, Rob.
This
I'll
is,
also stay in touch with Robert Gibson too.
this
I like
is
Robert.
Carlos in the Philippines. Carlos in
Philippines.
the Philippines.
Wow,
Long
Philippines.
way, huh? Calito from Philippines. Just put Calito.
That's where my wife is from. She's Filipino.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Speaks Tagalog.
Okay.
Speaks Tagalog.
Did you meet her while you were in the business?
No, afterwards.
From Manila.
From Manila.
Hey, your wife from Manila?
Barb, she's from a very, very small village.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very small village. They got tin roofs. It leaks in there all the time from rain.
Oh, wow.
You know, it is what it is. It's how it is.
We're supposed to come to Philippines in August. Hopefully it depends on the virus.
Yeah, it depends on the
COVID.
virus.
We're supposed to go there for 2 weeks. Yeah, in Philippines. So I don't know. Maybe no. The COVID still. Yeah, I'm supposed to go in August.
All right, guys, we're going to be holding off on the questions for a little bit so we can catch up with the
Yeah.
signings. 80s
Carlos,
Wrestling,
Manila, Philippines. Okay,
80swrestlingcon.com.
Powers of Pain.
So don't
That's
think you're
for you,
being
Carlo.
ignored. We just have to catch
Carlito.
up with all of these signings. Matt in Taylor's, South Carolina, blue to Matt.
How about you, Barb?
Yeah, down by me, Charlotte, North Carolina. Hey, Matt, how are you? Matt. Matt. See, that's a long way to Philippines. You know that, Bob?
I do know that.
Yeah, the WF who went to Philippines is a long way. How many stops? Frankfurt, Belgium, and then Philippines.
How many exotics?
Yeah, I went to.
Hey, Matt, that's for you.
What did I go? We went Frankfurt one time and then to Manila. And then we went over Singapore after that.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right, Ryan in Chicago, Illinois. Ryan in Chicago, Illinois.
Barb, you're scary there.
Ryan.
We got to talk.
Powers of Pain. Ryan. Ryan. Powers of Pain. Yeah. Even no makeup, still Powers of Pain.
Yeah.
Bundy's wife was a little girl.
Thank you, Ryan. That's for you, Ryan. Thank you.
All right, this one, Matt Stevens in Taylor, South Carolina. Black, Warlord solo, and blue for Barbarian Solo. Sorry to reach over you like that.
Right. Yep, Matt.
There you go, Matt.
Yeah, there you go, Matt. Thank you, Matt.
This guy, I got to give a special shout out to Emile Menard. He is at every one of these signings, always ordering photos, buying memorabilia, sending memorabilia. So what's up, Emile? And red to Emile. Very big supporter of 80s wrestling there, Emile Menard.
Emile.
'em.
Guys, once again, we're just holding off on questions for a little bit. You can still leave them when I have some time. After we catch up on some of these signings, we'll go back to them. So don't be offended if your question doesn't get asked. Remember, this is not a shoot interview anyway. We're going to just pick some questions out and get to them. But if you have any memories or comments or shout-outs,
Emily,
be glad to recite those
We need to
out.
answer the questions later on because otherwise I don't want these people showing my doorstep in Florida.
You don't want them what?
Showing my doorstep in Florida.
Well, you're not on social media. They're not going to find you.
Oh, you know how much fan mail I get at my house? They know.
Oh, yeah?
Oh yeah, they know. They got me somewhere on there. They know my address. They know everything. They know everything about me more than I do.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
As long as it's just mail and they're not actually showing up at the house, that would be a big mistake for them.
No, I have homeless show up at the house.
This was to Emile in silver.
Emile, same, silver.
Wade Haig says the interaction with these guys is awesome. Thank you for all you did for the business.
Thank you. Man, let me.
80swrestlingcon.com. All those upcoming signings are listed there. March 8th with Wendy Richter is going to be our next one. If you place an order for that or any of the upcoming signings from now to the end of July, we're
Yours is
going to be
better.
throwing in a complimentary Coco Beware autographed 8x10. Don't forget 80s Wrestling, the podcast, every Thursday. New episode on iTunes, social media. At 80s Wrestling has quickly become one of my favorite pages. To talk old school wrestling memories with great fans. 80s Wrestling on Facebook, 80s Wrestling on Twitter. You can follow me on Instagram at Ryan Moore Comedy. If you're in South Florida or the Gulf Coast of Florida, I'll be out there this week. So check me out. This is another for Emile in silver. Kyle James, can I still order one more pick? Yep, store's open till 9:30. 80swrestlingcon.com. Get on over there. Cliff Smalling says you guys should be in the WWE Hall of Fame. I agree.
Well, we'll see.
Hey, if Kid Rock is in it.
Yeah, they got a bunch of them in there, don't they?
Right.
Is Drew Carey in?
Yes. He's in the,
Also there-
he's in the Hall of Fame.
Oh, I
Also, I
didn't
think
know
there's
you were
another comedian there too. Is there another comedian in there also, I think?
I'll tell you.
Emily, it's for you, Emily.
Drew Carey, I didn't even know Drew Carey was in. I knew Drew Carey was in the Royal Rumble one year. Drew Carey lasted longer in the Rumble. How's that make you feel? I'm just playing with you.
But they never been in it.
He still didn't have Hulk Hogan knock him
Eliminated him.
out.
No, he jumped
See,
over.
I was eliminated by the biggest guy ever in wrestling.
There
Period.
you go. That's hey.
So that's
and
okay.
You get paid to save it.
I you know what? I could deal with that.
This
I can
one's-
deal with that.
That one's to Emile in black for the Barbarian. This is to Emile. See, I told you, he orders a lot of Emile. He's our boy. And that's Emile for the Warlord in black.
He's for Emile again.
Yes,
Thank you,
sir.
Emile. Solo. Thank you, Joe.
There you go, Bill.
Now we have a fan from the UK, Ian Shilton. He's got a solo Barbarian in black, and he's got a solo Warlord in silver.
Silver. There we go.
Okay, you in? How you spell?
Ian.
Ian. Thank you.
Yep.
Ian.
The United Kingdom's always well represented with 80s Wrestling Con fans. Here we have David Cartwright from the United Kingdom. He's got a solo Warlord 8x10 in silver and a solo Barbarian in red.
Right. Okay.
How can you get the pretty color?
Take it. It's for David. There you go, David. Thank you.
For this solo shot of Warlord, not only do we have the mask and the wand, we got the Warlord belt. You still have that as well? So that's
Yeah, that my grandson wants to get to and wear it around. Ain't gonna happen.
And Jamie Spivey, Marion, South Carolina, black, and the Barbarian.
There you go.
All right, so this is Bill Desmarais.
Jamie.
My
Thank
apologies.
you, Jamie. Barbarian.
Bill Desmarais in Warwick, Rhode Island. He's got a tag team shot of the Powers of Pain in silver.
Silver.
And then he's got a couple solos as well.
Yeah,
He's got silver for
Yeah.
Warlord and blue for Barbarian. Slide that down.
Blue. Bill.
Okay, all these up. There's Bill.
Okay, here you go, Bill. Thank you, Bill. Still white.
All right, this is for Sly Fitzenko in Florida. He's got some solo shots. Silver of Warlord, black, Barbarian to Sly, Powers of Pain.
Slide.
Brian Godwin. Yes, he actually purchased before. It says, still remember you guys smashing the weight plate on Animal's face.
Yeah.
Here you go, Slide. Thank you, Slide.
Here's our friend Dennis Grinnell in South Dakota, the guy who says that I need a raise from Tommy. Thank you, Dennis. There we go. Wants black.
Black.
Powers of Pain.
Dennis. And, black. There you go, Dennis. Thank you, Dennis.
All right, this one is to Joey Montero in Turlock, California. He wants gold to Joey. I think we have one
I think I
there.
have a call here. Joey.
Carlos Caballero says, great tag team chemistry. You always knew the Powers of Pain match would be great from the opening bell.
Thank you. Joey. Wow, nice.
A lot of requests for you guys to be in the Hall of Fame. You should probably storm the WWE social media accounts and let them know what you think about Powers of Pain and Hall of Fame. And if we had a say at 80s Wrestling Con, if it was like any other Hall of Fame and they would allow votes, we would vote for
There you
Powers
go,
of Pain.
Joey. Thank you, Joey.
But it doesn't work that
I
way.
have a
It's all-
son named Joey.
Not WWE.
All right, so these are for Colt Campbell, not to be confused with Cabana. Uniontown, Pennsylvania. He wants a silver to Colt Warlord and a blue to Colt Barbarian.
Yes, Colt. Oh, what a name, Colt. Colt. Colt, like a horse.
Yep.
There you go. Cool.
Janelle, I didn't
Yeah.
know if I could ask about this,
Yeah, for
but
you,
one
Colt.
of the fans did.
Thank you,
Did
Colt.
Warlord talk about bodyguarding 50 Cent? I did hear that you were a bodyguard.
Oh yeah, I did for 50. I did for Kimball Slice. Yeah, I traveled first European tour that 50 Cent ever did. When we were in Europe, I was also with him when we were shot at here, actually here in New Jersey, not far from Newark.
I remember hearing about that. I
Yeah,
didn't know
there's
you were
about,
there.
oh yeah. We just got done, we actually were at, we were in Manhattan, and 50 was always in an armored SUV, and we were in an SUV right behind him all the time. And just out of the blue, he wanted to stop at this big, I guess it's the biggest radio station in Manhattan.
Hot 97,
Yeah,
maybe?
really, real tall building.
Z100 possibly?
Maybe, possibly Z100. And so we pulled up alongside. He was going to surprise him up there by just showing up on the show. So he went on the show and he got on it. Pretty soon, all these
Thank you,
cars
Eric. Thank you, Eric.
are pulling in the curb with all the spinners on, everything else, and all that stuff, you know. So we're sitting aside. We see this one SUV down the street. So we said, you know what, we're going to go down there and just kind of take a look, see what's up. We go down there. You could see them as soon as they got out. You could see they had some guns in their hands down here, you know. So we just got back in the trucks, and someone ran up to let 50 know, hey, brother, when you come down, truck's gonna pull right up, boom, jump in, gone, just like that. No one gets between us, no nothing, you know. As soon as we just pulled up, boom, you jump right in, boom, we were right in. I mean, we were going, when we went out to Jersey, I mean, there was no car, any car got in between, they literally, the truck would take them out, you know.
Yeah.
And we just pulled up at the hotel we're staying in New Jersey, and 50 got up in a room, everything else, and that stuff. We just came down, all of a sudden, we were right by the SUVs. Also, some gunshots went off, so we just got behind the armored SUV. You know, sat behind there because it's not going to hurt that, you know. And they didn't hit it because they're, you know, if you know anything about a handgun, they're not very accurate from a distance. Okay, so they found about 13 shells out there, but nothing really came close to us in that stuff, you know.
Plus, you could probably just bend the handgun in half, I would think, you know.
But you know, after that was done, we threw 50 right in the truck, and he took off. We didn't even know where he even went because we didn't have a clue. Where they always had a backup plan to take him somewhere, but no one knew where he was going. So we met him the next morning. We met up with him and that, and the only thing we could figure out, you know, at that time there was a lot of beef between 50 and Ja Rule and Little Kim.
Okay.
A lot of beef and that stuff. And I know Ja Rule, from what I heard, they were staying a couple miles down the street. They were staying from us. So we happen to think it was them, possibly. That, and also I know in our time we were in
It's
London.
an 80s Wrestling Con exclusive.
Yeah, and also we were in London, England with him, and he was accepting all these awards for that. That was the year he came out with that big album, you know, with In the Club and all that stuff in it, you know. And he was accepting these big roads. So when we went in there, I mean, the bodyguards, you know, we were not normal size. We were huge, and we come in there, and those guys always wore the mask on them all the time. I didn't, but they all wore a mask on them and all that stuff, you know, because that was just their gimmick. And it was all little, we had the front table in there that was reserved for us. It was all Little Kim's people sitting there at that table until they saw us come in, and they tore off.
Oh, boy.
They left because they didn't want nothing to do with us.
Yeah.
None to do with us, you know. But there was beef between those two groups.
I can imagine that being very exciting. Going right from one crazy world of pro wrestling into a crazy world of hip-hop. Eric Wenderman, Silver, Barbarian. I could also imagine it being interesting, too, like, you know, you're bodyguarding at a show and people are recognizing you as Warlord.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, Kimbo Slice, I actually was a fan of his because I just used to see the videos of him doing those backyard fights with people.
Oh, Kimbo probably, I would say, had one of the hardest punches I've ever seen. I mean, literally, you could close the door and you hear the thud through the door. That's how hard it was.
Wow.
I mean, he was just one heck of a puncher, but a super, super great family man.
Yeah, I heard a sweetheart of a guy.
Very good person.
Robert in Buffalo, New York to Robert. So thank you for that question, Janelle. I think we just got an 80s wrestling exclusive. I'd always heard about you bodyguarding for different guys, but I remember that incident. I just didn't know that you were a part of that.
Yeah, and the funniest thing is, you know, when it happened, that next day we picked up 50. We had to fly to California that day because he was going to shoot a video there. And now he did not know how to drive a stick shift car for the video.
I don't either.
So we had to teach him how to drive a stick shift video, and we had to do it at nighttime because daytime traffic was so ungodly there. It was horrible.
Yeah.
So we had to shoot at nighttime so we could close the area off we were using, so we could close it off and we could do the shoot. And we went ahead and we did that thing. We had to fly all the way back to New York to fly out of Kenny because now we're going to Europe. And we got to Kenny Airport. The FBI, the state police, the New York City police, all these different groups, the DAs there, all these different groups were there to greet us to make sure we got through the airport okay and to our gates fine.
Oh.
And then you got all us big guys too going through this airport. I mean, it was something else.
Wild life, but I feel like pro wrestling prepared you well for that.
Oh yeah, it's. Oof.
'80swrestlingcon.com. Never know what kind of stories are going to come up on these things. We're going to be live from Monday Night Virtual's got a bunch coming up. Next one's with Wendy Richter on March 8th. Make sure you check that out.
Thank you, Robert.
Up next, we got Brandon Lockwich in Imperial, Pennsylvania, to Brandon in red.
To Brandon.
Nice collar. Be careful, it's still wet. Yeah, there you go, Brendan. Thank you.
All right, now we got it's from Nigel Edgington, Denver, Colorado, to Nigel and Rebecca in red. To Nigel and Rebecca.
Nice. And
Don't forget, guys, 80s Wrestling, the podcast. Every Thursday, new episodes on iTunes. That's with Tommy Fierro and I believe Jumpin' Jay. I think it is Jumpin' Jay. Yes. 80s Wrestling, the podcast, every Thursday. New episode on iTunes. Check them out. Social media. You can follow me at Ryan Marr Comedy on Instagram. Ryan, M-A-H-E-R Comedy. But, of course, at 80s Wrestling. Also on Twitter at 80s Wrestling. And, of course, the Facebook group 80s Wrestling. Always great conversations going on with fans
nice
there.
roll, Rebecca. Nice roll. Thank you.
Brandon Savage in Louisville, Kentucky. Is that the Macho impersonator guy? Isn't that? Oh, Louisville, Kentucky. There's a Macho Man impersonator named Brandon Savage, I believe. Is the guy who did the Dark Side of the Ring?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, I just did one of those episodes.
Oh, which one was it that you did?
It's coming out sometime in the spring. I don't know when, but I just got done filming it about 3 weeks ago.
Okay. Yeah. Do they do like the whole season? They ask you a question for each, or is it just one specific episode?
It was one specific episode I did.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. People are gonna like it. They're gonna like it.
I'm very much looking forward to that. Right. And I feel like the WWE Network has kind of now started to go that route with the ESPN style documentaries. So it's a great time to be a wrestling fan with all this stuff going on.
Yeah, Brendan. Thank you, Brendan.
All right, this is to Billy T. Billy Thompson in Berlin, Maryland. He wants silver to Billy T.
To Billy T.
Don't forget, guys, we're going to be here with the Powers of Pain until about 10 o'clock. That online store is going to be open until 9:30. Go over to 80swrestlingcon.com right now and get those orders in. Don't get left out. We'll be back on March 8th with Wendy Richter. Any of those advanced signings, you're going to get a free Coco Beware autographed 8x10 if you order an advanced signing Wendy Richter on tonight.
Silver's going fast.
Good. Yeah, here you go, Billy T. Thank you, Billy.
This is for Louis Flores in San Jose, California. To Louis in silver. To Louis. What's that? Yeah, just to keep moving it along.
Louis. Yeah. Thank you, Louis.
All right, I got two separate ones here. They're solos. For Warlord, we got Andrew in North Dakota. He wants silver. To Andrew, we bring the pain. And then for Barbarian, we got silver to Robert. There you go, sir.
Silver.
Don't forget, guys, share the video, spread the word about 80s Wrestling, share the live feed to your Facebook page. Got so many great signings coming up, not just with 80s Wrestling superstars. people that have very recently been on WWTV are now part of Monday Night Virtual.
Yeah. Cool. Thank you, Robert. Robert.
I'm going to go out on a limb and assume that you can't, but Thorsten said, can you say which episode, or does it have to remain a secret until it airs?
Gotta remain a secret until it comes out.
I figured that.
I don't even know. Seriously, I don't even know right now.
Oh, okay.
They didn't tell me anything. They said it's gonna come out in the spring. They just don't say anything. We don't even know which one yet. You know.
Yeah, it's usually what they do with a lot of those types of documentaries. They sit you down for a couple hours, ask you about everything, and then just
Yeah, it was 3 hours trial. I felt like I was back on trial.
Kevin Pecky, silver. It's from Kevin Pecky, but he wants it to Holden and Layla. Silver to Holden and Layla.
Silver.
Dave Hoyt says, 2 legends that gave me goosebumps as a kid. Absolutely. I mean, how could you not be terrified as a young child watching the Powers of Pain do their thing? Billy Thompson, thank you guys for the autographs and the memories. Be safe out there. Here's wishing you all the best. Janelle Anselmo, some of the nicest guys ever that you would run away from. Thanks, Powers of Pain, for the memories.
I don't know if that's good or bad.
Well, that's why we were talking.
Hopefully good.
For those of you that just tuned in now and weren't watching earlier, we were talking about some Haku stories, and it just blows my mind that people would challenge these guys in a bar. I just don't understand the logic.
Holden, Layla, Holden, thank you.
Here we got Craig Wilbur in Windsor, Vermont. Silver to Craig.
Craig, yeah.
'80swrestlingcon.com for all the upcoming signing info. Don't forget, if you order for any of the advanced future signings, Wendy Richter March 8th through Dean Malenko on July 26th, you're going to get a free autographed Coco Beware 8x10. So get those orders in.
Yeah, great. Thank you.
All right, Cliff Smalling in Toronto, Canada. He just wants the signatures in silver. Oh, we're getting to the... Yeah, it's nice to break up the monotony after a while.
She's up. Yeah, got it.
All right, this one is to Jimmy James. James Acevedo in Wallkill, New York. He wants it in blue. To Jimmy James, keep lifting.
Jimmy James, keep lifting. There you go, Barb. Jimmy James, keep lifting.
Jimmy James, keep lifting. Jimmy James.
How fun is it?
Jimmy James, keep lifting. Keep lifting, yeah. Yeah, keep it up. Jimmy James. Be careful. Wait.
Before we
Okay,
move,
Jimmy James, is for you.
Before-
Keep lifting. Thank you. Thank you.
before we move into the memorabilia that was sent in by all the fans, 80swrestlingcon.com. Keep those orders coming in until the online store closes at 9:30 p.m. Before I get to this last picture right here, before we move on to the memorabilia, I did want to ask if you have any Kurt Hennig, Mr. Perfect stories. I always ask about Owen, and I always ask about Kurt Hennig, Mr. Perfect, because as a comic, I always love the hijinks, the shenanigans, the riffs.
Yeah, Kurt was a good ribber.
He's a good ripper.
I remember a couple times. I don't remember who he did it to. It's been so long. I do remember that he found a guy's bag, and he put about 1,000 ladybugs inside of it. So when the guy opened up, all these ladybugs came out of there.
Where the hell do you get 1,000 ladybugs? I mean,
I
I know
don't
you can
know.
get them on Amazon now.
I don't
like
know.
Back then.
And I remember another one. He's got some dead mice, and he put it stuffed into the shoe up in the very front of the toes. So when the guy put it, just went poof, all over the place inside. But I can't remember who he did that to. But I remember him doing that.
See, the dead mice, I can see you
remember
can
him
find
doing
in the
that.
arena. You can
Yeah.
find them in the hotel.
Yeah.
But where the hell in 1988 to
And
82,
I also know there was one other
were
time,
you getting ladybugs?
and I can't remember whose guy's bag this was either, because I just don't remember who it was, but I remember him, we're in a big arena, and he paid somebody to take the guy's bag and hang it from the ceiling in the arena over the ring.
Wow.
So his bag was up there.
Like they would hang a title in a ladder
Yeah,
match.
it was all the way up there.
Oh.
Yeah.
I've heard of it being locked or being put up, like hidden in the roof, but I never
Yeah.
heard that. That's
Yeah,
wild.
He did that too. Yeah, Kurt was a good river man.
Oh,
He was a good river.
that's great.
And one hell of a wrestler.
Oh, without a doubt.
One hell of a wrestler.
100%. I
Yes.
feel like he should be in everyone's top 5.
He is.
Because there's just.
Oh yeah, him,
you know,
Bret Hart,
without a
Ric
doubt.
Flair, Arn Anderson. Oh, easy,
Without a doubt.
easy.
Final picture for now, Ty Battle. I should say final picture before we move on to the memorabilia, but this is 2 Ty in silver. 80swrestlingcon.com. Keep those orders coming in.
Get back? Okay. Thank you, man. Okay, thanks.
Pleasure, my friend. Good seeing you.
Okay. Thank you, Bobby.
Thank
Yeah,
Thank
good
you.
job, mate. Huh?
Thank you, Bobby.
Thank you,
All
Bobby.
right, so now we have, this is Steve Maudlin. He wants just signatures and powers of pain. This is the December 1988 issue of the World Wrestling Federation magazine. Talk about a who's who. We got the WrestleMania Nintendo advertisement, as far as, and the VCR WrestleMania game. That was a lot of fun.
That's for you, Ty. Thank you, Ty.
Here we have the Rick Martel forced to retire. A lot of great stuff in this magazine.
Yeah.
And you guys were brought in, of course, as the mercenaries
Yeah.
to avenge Rick Martel's injury.
Yes, we were.
It's kind of funny to think of Tito Santana hiring mercenaries. I like that idea.
Chicken side.
They sent that.
Oh, I'm sorry, they wanted this one.
Blue, our special
Yeah.
one.
Wow, this is a good one.
You don't, let me just keep this separate.
In powers of pain.
Okay.
Purple pen on this and that blue one on this.
Okay.
Okay.
That same blue one?
Yes, please.
This is all the same person.
These 3 right here.
Okay.
That is cool.
This is really cool.
Yeah.
I guess he drew this himself?
No, somebody actually.
Oh, this is the Hal Haney?
Yeah, the one that
I follow him on
Geraldo
Instagram.
was, sharing on his page.
Maybe underneath.
Yeah, underneath part.
So we got this great piece right here. I'm just doing this for my own personal social media because I follow this guy, Hal Haney. He did a Warlord Barbarian side-by-side, face-to-face. We're going to be signing that next. Pretty cool. And it's for Chris Karcher
There we
in
go.
East Hartford, Connecticut.
Cool.
Pretty good stuff.
Yeah, that's okay. That's cool, huh?
Are those signed, Bobby? For you? Okay. This goes to Bobby there.
Yeah, Bobby.
I'll let you guys do that before we
So,
bring
sign?
this.
Yeah, for Bobby.
Yeah, Bobby. What color?
Doing that blue, Bob. That blue's nice.
Oh, I don't care.
Do the blue on this one. Yeah, blue look nice on there, Bob.
I think blue here good.
No, use that air blue. That air blue's better.
Yeah,
That one's better.
too wet.
No, it's better.
Oh, this is for Bobby?
Yeah, for Bobby. Just put it to Bobby.
80swrestlingcon.com, all the upcoming signings, get those orders in. We're here with the Powers of Pain until 10 p.m., but that store is going to be open until 9:30. If you want to get an order in for a picture, we've moved on to the memorabilia portion. Don't forget, for any of these future signings, you can ship any of your wrestling memorabilia from anywhere in the world for any of the upcoming signings. We'll get it signed
That's nice.
and sent back to you. Don't forget, there's a lot of people that have sent their stuff in months ago. They're getting it signed by every performer that we have coming in, and then we ship it right back to you. So figure out how you can do that at 80swrestlingcon.com.
What do you want to put on there?
Bobby, there we go. Wow, nice.
We're going to have an auction coming up at the end of the night. I'll give you the 411 on that in just a little bit.
Bobby is still wet. It's a nice one. Wet, yeah? Oh, welcome, Bobby.
There you go.
Thank you, guys.
Okay, we'll talk later, huh? Thank you so
Thank you,
much.
Bobby.
Thank you.
This is actually a great piece right here. It was designed by Hal Haney Art. I follow him on Instagram. He
Yeah,
always
we
does.
just saw one of those the other week at,
High Spot.
up in High Spots.
Oh, okay.
They had that. I love that.
Yeah, that's really, really cool.
Where did he get it? Where did he get it at?
This guy Hal Haney, I follow him on Instagram. He
Oh, from High Spot.
designed these himself.
Oh, yeah.
I would love to have
and-
one of those for my house and put up in a nice thing at my house.
Well, Hal Haney, if you're
Yeah.
paying attention, you can commission a piece
love to
for
get
the
that.
Warlord himself. But this is for Chris Karcher in East Hartford, Connecticut. What did he want this signed now?
Just wants in purple.
All right,
Okay.
purple.
Okay.
He's got-
Excuse me.
You
What would
sign
like you to
yours?
sign? Yeah, go ahead.
Sign yours?
Does he want his name on it or just
No, he just wants signatures
Okay.
where the
Yeah, me.
things are.
Okay.
Ah, nice.
Yeah, I would love to have one
never
of these
seen
so
that.
bad. Barb, yeah, remember we saw the High Spots?
Yeah, we said High
I
Spot.
would love to have one of these
I'm
things.
actually tagging him on Instagram right now and telling him that you'd like one.
I like this. This one half, huh?
Yeah.
Let me see.
How come your beard's bigger than mine?
Bigger than mine. Then no white here yet.
Not yet.
Yeah.
And how they always scammed me as a kid and pissed my parents off because you had to buy the tag team separate. So they never just, well, sometimes they'd put them together.
Yeah, they still haven't done us together.
So-
Still haven't done it.
Oh, really? There was never still a Powers of Pain?
No, I hope they do it someday. I would love to have it.
That would be phenomenal.
You know, I hope it happens sometime.
Double pair.
This is also for Chris Karcher. He wants the Just Signature and Powers of Pain on each of them. So
Okay.
there's Mr. Barbarian, and there is Warlord. And I believe they want that blue.
If you can use that same
Blue,
blue,
This blue?
the blue that
This
you used
one?
before.
This one?
Right here.
This one, right?
No,
No,
that one.
this one.
The one that.
The one Barb's got us in.
Not this one?
Nope, that's
No.
purple.
I'm colorblind, guys.
That's okay.
I don't-
That's all right. Tonight's
Well,
auction.
there's signature and powers of pain.
Tonight's auction, we're going to be giving away, or not giving away, we're going to be auctioning boots, knee pads, wristbands, and that WWF magazine. Those are all going to be auctioned tonight as part of the live auction, so be prepared for that. Emil Menard, he's the defending live auction champion. So,
Wow,
oh,
nice.
here we go. I got the prices. Thank you. The wristbands, we're going to have that opening bid at 75. The knee
Also bid
pads signed
more.
by both men start at 100.
Wow.
The magazines signed by both men start at 75, and the boots signed by both start
Oh,
at
thank
200.
you.
So we're going to have that going.
I like the color too.
Yeah, it's really tremendous.
Black and blue, huh?
Could you step in for me for 1 second? Sir?
Cool.
I'll be right back, guys. Going to take a
Maybe
quick
so.
break. Bathroom thing. Ian Levy, handsome Ian, is going to be stepping in for me. I'll be right back, gentlemen.
I may be joining you not too long.
Excuse me. Be right back.
All right. We have Anthony from Australia sent in a couple of the classic superstars. Just signature Powers of Pain
Sure, that's
in
Barb's.
red,
In red.
and yours as well
Okay.
in red. Just
In red,
signature and Powers of Pain, please. Doing that, I'll move it some more.
Wow. Yeah, that's for
For Anthony.
Cool.
Anthony from Australia. Thank you, Anthony.
From Australia.
Yeah. Nice.
And now we have Nicholas, who sent in his figures. Where's Nicholas from? It doesn't say, but Nicholas De Silva. We've got a couple of Barbarian Classic Superstars in red and blue.
No, this, yeah, that's yours. Yeah.
And then
and
we
blue,
got for
right.
you in blue and white.
Blue and white.
Just seen it up. Yeah.
There's the white. And there's the blue.
Blue. Yeah.
On the other one?
Yeah. Nicholas. Yeah, that's for you. In red. Okay, I got it.
Blue, that one.
Signature and powers of pain.
There you go.
Okay.
one, white, signature, and powers of pain.
Wow, nice color. Yeah. Yeah. Get the name. There we go.
And Nicholas also sent in the December '88 issue of WWF magazine.
Cool.
A couple of signatures in black, please, gentlemen.
Okay, Blackburn.
Yeah, just signature.
All right, back in business. Sorry about that. Nature calls. Intermittent fasting, gallon of water a day. And here it is. We were talking about it earlier. This is the Survivor Series. This is for Carlo Rutherford, black, just signatures, VHS. I don't know if this was stolen from Blockbuster back in the day. Because the only way to get
Just
those
signature.
videos were the Coliseum
In
video
black.
Yeah.
advertisements, which those were great back in the day. Lord Alfred Hayes. He's another guy that seems like he was quite the character, Lord Alfred.
Yeah. A lot of them back in our time.
I'm sorry about that.
A lot of them in our time.
Yeah.
A lot of great characters.
One for each of them here.
All right. I was actually at this event, SummerSlam '91, I believe. Match made in heaven, match made in hell. Tony Schneider.
That's just for Warlord.
That's just for Warlord. Okay.
Warlord.
Black.
Yeah.
I guess he wants it right there.
Signature.
And then Barbarian. This one is just for you. It's a Faces of Fear T-shirt. WCW.
Okay. Silver. No, that's good. This one's still good.
Don't forget, guys, that live auction is going to be coming up before we end tonight.
Yeah, there we go.
A lot of items signed by both these men. We're going to go over the list of that again in just a few seconds. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you. That's good.
This is like a paragraph to me.
Exactly.
Oh, so official. Yeah, I will.
Why don't you explain? Because I don't want to screw. We have a lot of stuff with instructions, so I don't want to mess up anybody's stuff. An 8x10 you can always redo. This stuff you can. So
Okay, please have one banner sign on chest area, open Sharpie.
these are all for Andy T in Minneapolis, Minnesota. There you go. So
Yeah. Minneapolis.
Good. Thank you.
In front of the
Yeah,
camera
there's-
here.
they know who you
Yeah,
are.
exactly. So, got a few things here. So, sign.
This is the kind of care that we take of your products here at 80s
Blue
Wrestling.
Sharpie on
You
the
have
chest,
specific
sign your
instructions.
name.
We want to make sure we get it
And
right.
then, either one of you on the stomach, powers of pain.
Barb will do that.
Sure. Sure.
And then do you want to just? Yeah.
It's probably just signatures on this
Sign
one.
name.
Yeah, on your chest here.
Don't sign Barbarian across my chest now.
You had to sign small. Yeah.
Yeah, real small.
Small.
Yeah, I don't.
And you got a lot longer name
I
than
have no
I
idea
do.
what any of
Three
that means.
Warlord and one Barbarian.
Sorry.
It's okay.
I just don't want to screw up anybody's
I
stuff.
get it. And I'm sure they all appreciate it.
Yeah.
Card, huh?
I know.
Go back to the chat here for a second.
Yes. Squeeze.
Nigel Eddington, you guys rock.
Good.
Chris Z. Ian Levy told me that if you ever saw a Barbarian at the grocery
Yeah,
store,
yeah.
it's half a brick in the
good.
face.
Yeah.
Thanks, Chris. All right, so we've got 3 Warlords and 1 Barbarian.
Nick Lapari, loved you guys with
And
Master
blue Sharpie.
Fuji. Very
Just
devious.
sign your name on the
Thank you.
red, on the red.
Thank you, Ryan.
And then we'll do green on this one. Who would like you to sign your name right over there?
Okay.
Yeah, whenever I hear Mr. Fuji described as devious, I just have flashbacks to Gorilla Monsoon. The devious one. That's another guy I wish I could have gotten to meet. Gorilla and Bobby.
Yeah, girl was very nice guy.
They got one more for you.
Yeah, one more.
Right there.
Underneath.
Right on the red.
Well, they're doing that, guys. 80swrestlingcon.com. We're going to have that online store open for about another 20 minutes or so, I believe. So get those orders in for the Powers of Pain, the 8x10s. Also, any order that you place for any of the future signings, starting with Wendy Richter on March 8th through Dean Malenko on July 26th. We're going to be throwing in a signed Coco Beware 8x10. We have more memorabilia coming in. These guys have been great here tonight. We're hearing all kinds of different stories. So make sure 80swrestlingcon.com, you check out what's going to be happening. And we even got a 50 Cent and Kimbo Slice story. Who was expecting that? Oh, get back on camera. Are you signaling me or? Oh, him. Okay. What a great poster. WrestleMania 5. The Mega Powers explode.
Where was that?
Atlantic City.
Oh, yeah, we
Oh
were
yeah,
there.
Yeah.
yeah. So we took on Demolition.
I hope you're there because they want you to sign it.
Actually, Trump Plaza isn't there no more.
That's right.
I just got taken down.
This
Trump
was,
Plaza.
but the arena's still there because it was Boardwalk Hall.
I don't know now. I know
Yeah.
that Trump Plaza was just imploded.
Yeah, no, it was. So what it was Trump Plaza put their name on it, but it was
Right.
the Boardwalk Hall, which is still there. Because I
Okay.
believe actually Bobby would know. He just left. Ted DiBiase did his documentary there. And
Okay.
they went back there. So Boardwalk Hall still exists.
Okay, cool.
With Hall of Famer and former President Donald Trump putting that together. George Lopez, no relation to the comedian, I don't think. Staten Island, New York. He wants to, what are the instructions on this? Doesn't say. Just signatures?
Yeah. Just signatures.
Tommy, just to make sure, just signatures? No, any particular color? The purple?
Just that one. Yeah.
All right, so purple and just signatures.
Just saying so. Just saying so.
Yeah, you guys worked Demolition.
Demolition.
Yeah.
That was,
And we had Mr. Fuji with us. It
Yes.
was
So 3 against 2. Us in Fuji.
that's right. Yes, yes. He brought out the old gimmick.
Yep, brought
They
the
used to
salt
wear
that
it
went on my
Sunday.
face. Oh yeah, not fun.
Yeah.
I believe this is the figure we were talking about before.
Yeah.
About talk about detail. How psyched were you when you saw this for the
I
first
thought it was
time?
cool. They did a great job.
This is awesome.
Really good job.
Makes that mask worth it for having to
Yeah.
breathe through a straw for all those times. Adam Mural, red, just signature,
Okay, red.
Red.
and we got another one. All right, little message from Tommy Fierro. Anyone that spends $150 tonight on 80swrestlingcon.com for upcoming signings, we will send you out a free autographed copy of Tito Santana's book, Don't Call Me Chico, until midnight. Actually, can I get a copy of that book tonight? I've been waiting to read that. Yeah. Oh,
Well, there goes his pay.
yeah. Oh wait, so I have to double what I'm making tonight? No, just kidding. Just play it. But no, I have been meaning to read Tito Santana's book, and I'm flying on Wednesday, so it'll be great for the airplane. Craig Osborne wants these Warlord action figures signed. This is what, the Jack Specific one, I believe.
Yep.
Craig Osborne, red, just signature,
Osborne.
The Powers of Pain.
What's the name of the singer? Osborne.
Ozzy Osbourne.
Ozzy Osbourne. Ozzy, yeah.
Angelo said, how do you get that Warlord mask? He actually told us a story about how he had his one-of-a-kind mask made. So in the next couple days, go to 80swrestlingcon.com, check out the full 3-hour signing. You'll be able to see
Right.
that story.
Yeah.
Speak of the devil, we just talked about WrestleMania 5, how it was Powers of Pain and Mr. Fuji against Demolition. Here's a trading card of you guys with Mr. Fuji.
Oh yeah.
Warlord laying the double axe handle, and I believe
Yep.
that's Smash. So this is to Sean Barton. He wants it to Sean, and if you could please add "Rest in Peace, Fuji." And
Rest in peace, yeah.
Yeah, I think that was Bill. I think that was Bill. Axe.
I wasn't. I didn't have this job when they did their signing, but Bill Eadie's a guy. I've met them at the previous convention, but that's a guy you can just listen to stories all day long.
Yeah.
I mean, worked with literally everybody.
Yes.
Sure. Sure. My name is just too long.
We could call you Barbara.
She's gonna call me, yeah, Barbara. But I be from.
Thorsten Fritz said, do either of you have any memories of Harvey Whippleman? That's another guy. He wrote a great book.
Yeah, but I don't know if I can say it on here.
Okay, that's fine. Well, you know what? Read his book, because I'm going to tell you something. It was probably the most honest wrestling book that I've read.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought he held nothing back. This is John Bubba Call, another friend of ours here at 80s Wrestling Con. This is a Barbarian trading card. He wants silver. This, I think I have this at home. This looks very familiar. Silver, just the signature.
Silver, just 6.
Yeah, his book was great. I mean, he held absolutely nothing back.
You know what? If you're going to do a book, you shouldn't hold anything back.
Absolutely. Well, you know, that's the thing now too, is that, you know, the WWE publishing was what made the wrestling books known.
That's right.
But the best ones are the ones that were not part of WWE. So, no offense to anybody watching from WWE, I still love your books too. All right, so now we're back to the magazines. This one's Steve Frazier in Elgin, Illinois. Just signatures and powers of pain.
What color? Black?
He wants powers of pain and our signatures.
Okay. Underneath it.
There we go.
Yeah,
Cool.
that's for you, Steve. Thank you.
Here we have the WrestleMania 5 official program. It's from Michael Provost. He's got Hulk Hogan's signature on the cover. Of course, WrestleMania 5, Mega Powers Explode. But within the pages here, we got the match between Demolition and the Powers of Pain and Mr. Fuji. And he wants the signatures there. Black, just signatures, and Powers of Pain.
Powers of pain. Warlord and Barbarian. Barbarian Warlord.
And the, with the,
Carlos Caballero says, thoughts on if the appeal of tag team wrestling is lost on today's modern roster?
Yes, it is.
Without a doubt. Now they just throw guys
They
together.
just throw them together. They don't mean nothing. Doesn't mean it. They don't go together at all.
Well, I was glad. I watched the Elimination Chamber last night, and I was glad with the women's tag title match that they didn't. I was afraid they were going to use that as a prop, where they were going to have Bianca and Sasha win. And then that's been done to death for 25 years. So let's have the two guys that are feuding for the world title become tag team champions. It diminishes the meaning of having a tag team title.
Listen, I think the girls' wrestling's great today.
Oh, it's phenomenal.
Girls' wrestling I think it's better than the men's now.
okay,
It is.
Michael.
It's very
Thank
good.
you, Michael.
Very good.
Yeah, when I watch Bayley and Sasha and Charlotte,
very
those
good.
girls are
Very good.
unbelievable. All right, Sam Ross in Oxford, Maine. He wants to Sam, please add Powers of Pain in white.
Just,
Wait,
yeah, wait. Here, Barb.
I got it.
Okay.
I got
I've
it.
never seen NWA trading cards before.
Oh, wow.
That is amazing.
Sam.
I've never seen them either.
Yeah.
Powers of pain.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah.
It looks like they just took like
Yeah,
fan
random
photos.
shots. Yeah,
and
basically.
licensed by Jim Crockett Promotions. They're legit. Distributed by Wonderama International.
Yep, that's who did it back then.
Well, Ian's a huge NWA fan. He said he's never seen the trading cards before, so that's very interesting.
Sam.
Yeah, I got some of those. I had Sting in there
Oh, wow.
and all that stuff.
I had WCW ones. I never had the
Yes,
NWA ones.
Sam. Thank you, Sam.
So we were just talking a little bit off camera with Ian here, who's a huge NWA fan. NWA trading cards. This gentleman has a bunch. Well, first we'll do his photo. Andy, he orders pretty much every week. Andy Hammerlink in St. Paul, Minnesota. Red to Andy.
Red to Andy.
Nice find here, Andy, because I've never seen these. My earliest memories were the WCW trading cards, where it was like Sting, Ron Simmons. It was like right after Ron Simmons' world title run, Vader, all those guys. But I've never seen these.
That's pure gold right there.
Very, very cool.
Andy. Thank you, Andy.
Cool.
All right,
for
so
Andy.
he's got these trading cards, so just so that we don't mess this up here, this is a silver just signature for both of you guys.
Caesar, yeah, Caesar.
This is for both also.
Yeah.
I always love seeing the police, the look on the police faces when they were security at these events. They were just always like, what the hell is going on? Because you could tell which cops were the wrestling fans and which ones were. Like even when Hogan turned at Bash at the Beach '96, when he's walking down the aisle, the one cop is like completely marking out. And then the other guy's just standing there. All right, so this is silver, just signature. Both of these are for Barbarian. And then both of these, silver, just signature, are for Warlord.
Cool.
Oh wow, I never knew he had a Hasbro.
Yeah. See, that's the thing. Barbarian, he didn't get an LJN. He didn't get a Hasbro.
I thought there was a Powers of Pain LJN. There wasn't?
No.
Yeah, they haven't done a Mattel for Barb either yet.
Oh wow. Well, here's the Warlord Hasbro. Pretty detailed for the time, because a lot of them aren't.
That was back in the 90s they came out.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
90, right? I believe.
I think before that, like 93, if I remember right? Somewhere around there? 93, 94?
I think they existed from like 90 to 93.
Yeah,
Well,
I
anyway,
think it was like 93 if I remember right.
so that's cool. This is Nate Williams, gold, just signature there.
Gold.
There's gold, right?
Yeah,
No,
Is that gold?
Yeah, it's green.
No.
Gold's over here, I got it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
There should be a gold out there.
I don't know. I'm, like I said,
No,
guys, I'm
you
colorblind.
said that. I apologize. I
time.
should have stayed on top of that. I'm too busy marking out for action figures like a nerd.
It's like me.
Because I say it every week. My parents always bought me the action figures, but if I were smart, I would have bought instead of two different ones, one to play with, one to keep in the box.
Yep.
But I think that's just any toy or any. Did you actually see on Netflix? They did there's a documentary called "The Toys That Made Us," and there's a whole one about just the wrestling figures, and it's fascinating, the whole story. This is Nate Williams, gold, just signature.
Just signature.
gold.
Oh wow, this is cool.
Good.
How much more stuff is that?
Sure.
All that there, that, and a few more.
Nice.
There you go.
Nate.
And we have
Yep.
the Meals big picture.
All right, so this is a promo pick, an old WWF promo. It's got the 1988 copyright on it. It's from Michael Blumenberg. Apparently, he's met Barbarian before.
Yeah.
And got it. So this is just Warlord's signature in blue.
Right.
And
What is this?
We just signed, the guy's putting it into a book. He's just
Ah.
signing that.
Cool.
Yeah.
there we go.
Okay, thank you, Michael. Good seeing you again. Thank you.
All right. For Bob with best wishes in black, this is Bob Tyrer. Bob Tyrer in Great Falls, Virginia. Either side, I guess it doesn't matter. Ian? Either side, because it's just going into.
That's just that front side.
All right, cool. So,
Just stick with that.
Okay, Barb, it's gotta go to Bob with best wishes. Black.
Right here.
Yeah, just on that page right there, on the white.
I love how they're still a tag team. They have their duties. He's the writer. He's the signature guy. They pay well to each other's positives.
This is okay. And then sign.
Yeah.
Janelle Anselmo wants to know if either of you ever arm wrestled Rick Rude. Was there ever?
Yeah.
Never tried.
No, there's a great story. This is,
Oh, here we go. Thank you. Janelle always asks the questions that
serious.
lead.
Right. Rick Root, very good.
okay, I grew up in
Very
Minnesota,
good.
of course. And
And for Bob.
I was
for you,
champion
Bob.
of
Thank
Iowa
you.
and Nebraska at the time.
Arm wrestle.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I was going to Minnesota State Tournament, and it was special that it was going to be Jesse the Body Ventura was going to be the guest referee. And it came to the finals. It was me, and I didn't know who the other guy was. Just Jesse came up to me, and he didn't know I was nobody at the time, but I was a very good arm wrestler. And of course, up by me, Scott Norton was a world champion.
Yeah.
You know, so he looked at me. He says, "You don't have a chance against us coming up."
Really?
You know, and it was Rick Rude. It was Rick when he had the big hair and all that stuff. And of course, Rick was a very good arm wrestler. And got up there, and I beat Rick.
Wow.
I put him down, and Jesse he dropped his jaw. He said, "Who the hell are you? You know, who are you? You know?" And you know, like I said, I was just a young kid, but I was a very good arm wrestler.
Yeah.
You know, I have that really good tendon strength there and all that stuff. You know, and you know, I knew, you know, I knew how to do it in that stuff. You know, and went ahead and I beat Rick, and then it's funny that down the road when I made to WWF, I was with Rick, and we were talking that stuff, and Rick remembered at the time.
Of course you remember.
Yeah, and I said, Rick, I was just laughing. I said, maybe we should go for our paychecks. I said, because he was top dog at the time. I said, how about my paycheck versus your paycheck?
There you go. Nice.
That'd be a nice little payday for me and that stuff, you
Yeah.
know. But Rick was a great guy, man. And let me tell you, he was a tough boy.
Oh, I believe it.
Rick was a tough guy, man. He was tough. But
I feel like any guy from that era, regardless of size or strength, had to be tough because the way you were trained, the way you were brought in, the way you had to handle yourself in public. I mean, there's no way that you couldn't be a tough guy.
No, Rick was a dynamite. He was a dynamite arm wrestler. Rick was very good.
Well, as a
Very
world
good.
champion wrist wrestler, I've always appreciated.
Rick was good.
Anyway,
He was good.
This is for Sam DeCello, red, just signature, powers of pain. But yeah, no, I love hearing stories like that, especially because during that time, I mean, Over the Top, the movie, that was huge.
Scott Norton was in that.
Scott was in there.
Yeah.
Like I say, you know,
right-handed screwdriver, you know, you get strong.
Scott was just, oh wow. He was,
Thank you, Janelle, for that question. Janelle, I think, is a big Owen Hart and Mr. Perfect fan as much as I am. So she always asks about those guys, and then she just asked that question about arm wrestling Rick Rude. So that led to another great story.
So, Sam. Okay, thank you.
All right, this is Barbarian, red signature, powers of pain. Oh, wow. It's got everybody on this. What Survivor Series was this? This was 1989. Wow. So,
got a lot of signatures on there.
yes, he does. So I just want to find the
Should
correct
we-
spot. Right. Oh, right. Usually look where the arrow is.
There you go.
All right, so this is just Warlord.
Okay.
Barbarian's already on there.
Sam, that's for you. Thank you, Sam.
Thorsten says, loved it when the Powers of Pain were at the Chikara King of Trios event in 2012.
Oh,
I'm
that
not-
was fun.
Yeah, I'm not very familiar with their product, but I know that they've done a lot of like really great throwback
We were-
kind of stuff.
If I remember right, we were lucky enough.
Yeah.
Haku
I already
teamed up with us. We were 6-man with Haku. And if I remember, we took on Barb. Barb, who was that? Remember Chikara? We took on their big-time wrestlers now. Remember Chikara when Haku tagged with us?
6-man tag.
Yes, remember we took on that other tag team was a big-time name now? Those young guys, Barb, those young guys. They're a really good young tag team now.
Oh, are they in AEW? No. well,
Maybe AEW now.
The Bucks, the Young Bucks?
Young Bucks.
Okay.
Young Bucks, and they had somebody else with them. And man, the match was, it was great.
Is that 1, 2, 3 kid?
No, it wasn't 1, 2, 3 Kid. I don't think. I don't think with
Marty-
it was,
Marty Jannetty?
No, it
Well, I know
wasn't
1,
Marty.
2, 3 Kid has worked for them.
Yeah,
I know
yeah.
that. I just don't know if
I can't remember who it was, but I remember Young Bucks, and I didn't know who the Young Bucks even were at that time yet.
Yeah.
And
They were young.
We just,
They were young.
well, of course they're young.
Hence the name. They
but-
live the gimmick.
Yeah, but we had a great match with those guys, and when it was done, of course, they got put over, and we were getting ready to leave, and the fans wouldn't let us leave. They just kept, "You still got it, you still got it." They wouldn't let us leave the ring.
That's awesome.
I mean, for about 5 minutes, they just kept doing that.
That had to make you feel like $1 million
Yeah,
bucks.
it was great, I mean, especially to be with Haku and Barb. I mean, that felt great.
And especially
It really
to
did.
get that kind of reaction against
Yeah.
a team like the Young Bucks, the way the business has changed.
Yeah.
So to hear that, that's awesome. So this is a Survivor Series T-shirt. I love how this is like in cardboard here. This is like a mannequin at Marshalls.
Right.
Like, it just collapses. One arm is shorter than the other, or it's missing a leg.
That's a gift for discount.
Yeah. Here we go. So this is for Chad Waka. and black, just signatures.
Just
So that's
signature.
the black. I don't. Here, we'll lay it this way. I'll put it right in the center for you guys. And you can just sign it and pass it along.
Just signature.
Carlos Caballero says, Uncle Ian on the ball. Yes, indeed. 80swrestlingcon.com, I believe, is the online store. It is now officially closed for tonight, but you can still get those signings ordered for Wendy Richter, Bob Orton, Craig DeGeorge. The whole list is at 80swrestlingcon.com. And don't forget, you'll get a free Coco Beware 8x10 autograph
Thank you,
as
Chad.
well. I'm going to step up while he lays this.
I'm going to go in front.
You're going to go in front? All right, well, this is Rob Kerr, I believe, from Australia.
Rob Kerr.
He always lets me know when his flag is going to make an appearance.
The
He
flag.
sent it months ago. So,
WWF.
Yeah, and I think it's down there. Where are we at? Oh, right here, silver, just signatures.
Silver?
Yep.
Just signature.
Just signatures right over here.
For Warlord. Signature. Coco Beware.
yeah, we had him here, what was that, about 2 months ago now?
Yeah.
80s Wrestling, the podcast, every Thursday, new episodes on iTunes, different theme every week on social media. You can follow at 80s Wrestling as well as Twitter and Instagram at 80s Wrestling. Facebook group as well. Give me a follow on Instagram at Ryan Mar Comedy, Ryan M-A-H-E-R Comedy. If you're on the Gulf Coast of Florida, I'll be at the Laugh-In Comedy Cafe this week. Check it out.
WWF boys, right?
Rob Kerr in Australia, there's your flag, buddy.
Whoever wants to wear it.
Okay, I'm sorry.
It's good to go powers of pain.
Yep.
Yeah, good.
You're right.
Very good.
You know, we just said Uncle Ian was
Man,
on the
that's a
ball,
good-
but, you know, now I've got nothing else here in front. Ah, there we go. All right.
It's a common
All
man.
right, well, you want to walk, you want to do your Vanna White with the flag again? I like,
This is all for Carter Cole.
is that the encyclopedia?
Yep.
Sweet. Now, do they just keep updating this every few years?
Almost every year they update it now.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah, because I've never seen this cover before.
No,
There's a
that's
new
a
one.
2021, I think.
Wow. See, I was not aware of
See, I
that.
find that out from all the fans too. They show me it.
Look at that. And here you guys are. Very, very cool. I might have to get me one of these. This is pretty cool.
Just signature. Black.
Just signatures in black. Quebecers, they were a hell of a team, too.
Yes, yes they were.
I got Pierre is still working.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, there's another one? Yeah.
Yeah. Look at that. Calls himself PCO.
Chad Waka, thanks for signing my Survivor Series tee, guys. Appreciate it. Great event. Thank you, Chad. Keep supporting 80s Wrestling. Spread the word. Tell your friends. Kim Laurinaitis says, please say hello and give Barb and Warlord my love. Very dear friends.
So hi, Kim.
Thank you.
Yeah, Kim.
Carter Cole, your flag.
I've known Kim for a long time. Of course, being Animal's wife.
Oh, okay.
That's Animal's wife.
Okay.
Also,
Well, thank you for checking in, Mrs. Laurinaitis.
sure. Yeah. Warlord, big Warlord.
Silver, please.
Maybe underneath. Good. Wow, good one. Yeah.
There you
Suppose it was a
Yeah.
Chikara
Whoa,
gauntlet
awesome
match
match.
won by 123 Kid and Marty Jannetty. Was that you guys?
Yeah, they beat us.
Okay.
And then they won the thing, but that was that Friday night. Actually, Barb and me did a show in New Jersey here, and we had to drive. We had to drive with our outfits on, our paint on, right? Because we had to do a show earlier, and then we had to do there, and I'd do a show there right after that.
Okay.
And we did the one over there against Young Bucks, and I can't remember who else they had with them. And then Sunday, we beat Demolition, and then we got beat by 123 and Marty
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
on that Sunday.
Yeah, that was the final. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
All right, so this is Robert Williams in Elizabethtown,
So
Kentucky.
we beat the big guys, the little guys beat us.
Their former, that's always blows my mind. The Rockers never officially won the tag titles, but Jannetty won with a bunch of different guys, and Mike was on with a bunch of different guys. Kyle James says you competed in the best tag team division ever in the WWE, and how could you argue with that? I mean, Strike Force, Demolition, Powers of Pain,
Demolition, Rockers,
Yeah,
Bushwhackers,
Hart Foundation.
Hart Foundation. I mean,
you know the best match we ever had? Midnight Rockers.
the Rockers.
The Rockers. Oh man, we have some best matches.
Rockers.
Those guys could work anywhere.
Yes, they could.
Unbelievable. Madison Square Garden.
And especially that style, the power brawlers against
Yeah,
the fast guys.
the powers
and
against
stuff.
the speed.
Yeah.
Speed. Boom.
And the way those guys would sell to the bigger guys too.
That's
See,
right.
when we get the heat, we make the women cry. They will cry.
Oh, I'm-
So they thought we are breaking them. I mean, you know.
Well, that's the great thing about, when kayfabe existed, the audience reactions.
Sure.
You
Yeah.
think of those ones where they would zoom in on a kid's face crying. And
Yeah, they
you'll
were
never
crying.
see that again.
Women in the kids, they were crying.
We got some of these last minute photos that came in just before we shut down the online store. So this is Gino Fellini in
Right.
Mashpee, Massachusetts. He wants a solo Barbarian, red, to Gino, and a
Gino.
solo Warlord, silver, to Gino.
You know.
Nigel's asking, was there ever an offer for the Warlord to join the Dungeon of Doom? It was Kevin Sullivan, I believe, in WCW.
You know,
Gino.
I came to.
That's for you, Gino. Thank
They
you.
were doing a TV in St. Petersburg, Florida, and I lived over in Tampa at the time, and I came there. And Kevin talked to me.
You would have been a perfect fit.
Yeah, he talked to me, and actually about a short time after this, when I had a car accident that screwed up my neck for a long time.
Yeah.
And I didn't do any wrestling for many, many years.
Safety.
Yeah, I remember reading that you retired in like '96 or
Yeah,
so, right?
yeah, it was. But right before that, I had seen Kevin.
Yeah, just
and in
one.
fact, Barb
Thank
Haku
you.
was there and all that stuff, And Kevin had talked to me about being a part of their team and that stuff.
Dungeon.
Yeah.
And when would be a good time
That's
to fit
okay.
in? When would be a good time to fit in?
That's fine.
And I had the accident, and that was it. It was done after that.
So great question there. Let me just look up. Nigel asked that. Yeah, and Carlos Caballero mentioned another great team that I talk about all the time because I don't feel they ever got their due. Power and Glory. I feel that would have been
Power and
one of the
Glory.
greatest tag
Yeah,
teams.
What's the problem?
That was Hercules
Hercules and Paul Roma.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
That
Good
finish,
team,
the,
good team.
the suplex into the
Yes.
split. Oh,
No, they went
Yeah.
very well together.
They were
very
awesome.
well.
They were great, but they didn't do anything.
That's what I mean.
They
I
didn't
don't-
do anything with that.
I don't know why they didn't.
Yeah,
Just
we were hoping they do something to get work us.
Yeah.
Do something.
Travis Buxton, silver to Travis. Yeah, I remember they did a match against the Rockers where Michael's knee was injured. It was at SummerSlam '90.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Sean didn't even really work the match. They had Hercules in with the chain. And they just double teamed Marty the entire match. And
Yeah.
it was just so perfectly done. And that
Yep.
finish they did was so great.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that really was. I mean, I if anybody can think of a better time for the tag team division, let us know because I don't think you're going to come up with a better time.
I mean, 80s was
Yeah.
tag team was big in 80s.
It didn't matter where you went.
Okay, Travis, thank you.
Yeah, right.
Every
NWA, you had
federation, yeah.
Rock and Roll Express, the Road Warriors. All right, so this is a silver to Mark in the UK, just Warlord for that one.
Silver.
Regular.
Silver.
I need another silver. I'm going through these silvers.
Don't forget, guys, 80swrestlingcon.com. All the upcoming signings. Going to do a quick rundown of it. Tonight, of course, we got the Powers of Pain for about another half hour. Then we got Wendy Richter, March 8th, Bob Orton, and Craig DeGeorge, March 22nd. April 19th, we have the ECW Extreme signing. Bunch of different names for that one.
There you go.
April 26th, Stan Hansen. May 10th, Ken Patera. May 17th,
Okay,
Eric
okay,
Rowan
Mark.
and Darren Young. May 24th, Nikita Koloff. June 7th, Rock and Roll Express. June 21st, the Head Shrinkers. June 28th, Billy Gunn. July 5th, Tyrus. July 26th, Dean Malenko. Place an order now for any of those signings. Get yourself a free autographed
August
Coco.
2nd, The Godfather.
Oh, well, there we go. We have an announcement. WWE Hall of Famer, The Godfather, August 2nd. When did you announce that?
Earlier in the show, in the chat, I did.
Oh, all right. Well, I must have missed it. You didn't make sure, didn't you want to see if I was open that night? Or no? All right, I'll be here. Godfather, August 2nd. Check it out. So place those orders. Get a free Coco Beware 8x10. Angelo Rossi, West Haven, Connecticut. This is silver for Warlord. That's going to be a really fun one. The Godfather, August 2nd.
Yeah, Uncle Ian might go outside with The Godfather on that one.
He might what?
not believe I go outside with the Godfather on that one.
I'll go outside with you on that one too.
Thank you.
It is legal as of today. Johnny Medina, San Jose, California. We were talking about something else.
I know what you're talking about. Smoking. Of course, he's known for that.
One of my favorite moments of his was, unfortunately, it was the tragic Owen Hart passing the next night. They did that wonderful tribute on Monday Night Raw, and so they were having the guys come out for matches, and Road Dogg comes out, and they're about to lock up, and they stop, and Road Dogg goes, "Why don't we just go burn one and tell Owen stories?" And then him, the Godfather, and the host left the ring and went back to the lock. And I was like, wow, like for 1999 to do that on TV.
Okay, Johnny. Okay, thank you, Johnny.
All right. Here we got Christopher Jones, Easton, Pennsylvania, in blue, to Jonesy, bring the pain.
To Jonesy, bring the pain.
Thorsten Fritz, we're still talking about the great tag team era. He's mentioning Rhythm and Blues, I think, came, well, no, they were around the time you were there.
That was
Honky and Greg Valentine.
Honky and Greg.
And then, of course, the Killer Bees.
Killer Bees.
Yeah.
B. Brian Blair and Jumpin' Jim
All right.
Brunzell. Masked Confusion.
I like a Killer Bee.
Yeah, they were fun. That Masked
Who's
Confusion.
the other guy he drop kick high?
Jim Brunzell.
Jim Brunzell.
Jim, you mentioned them before.
Oh my goodness. The best drop kick in the business. Best drop kick in the business.
He's still, I saw him about 5 years ago in an event. He still looks great,
Yeah.
too.
Yeah. I love those guys. I know Brian.
Another very nice man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Years ago, I did the
Very good
roasts
man.
for Iron Sheik and stuff, and they were there for that.
I heard about it.
Very great. Oh, yeah, that was infamous, though.
I heard about it. What happened? And she slapped him?
Yeah, Iron Sheik slapped him. I don't know if that was a work or not.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Jury's still out on that one.
I don't think it's not a work. Oh my God.
There you go.
Okay. Christopher. Thank you, Christopher.
Yeah.
Wade Bates. That was 13 years ago almost already. Wade Bates, Beaver Dam, Wisconsin. Beaver Dam, Wisconsin.
Too big.
Wait.
Don't forget, guys, 80s Wrestling, the podcast, every Thursday, new episode on iTunes, social media, Instagram, at 80s Wrestling, Twitter, at 80s Wrestling, Facebook, 80s Wrestling Group, always great conversations.
Red.
Free Coco Beware autograph photo with any future order.
Man, I
Now
miss
until
Coco
August
Beware.
2nd.
I like to see him.
Great guy, a lot
Down
of
the
fun.
road. You know, we talk, we text, but
Yeah.
I hardly see him. There we go. Okay, Wade. Thank you, Wade.
All right, Tony Jeremico. Please add Powers of Pain. So red to Tony. Please add Powers of Pain. Is it auction
Tony
time
Powers
yet or
of
no?
Yeah, yep.
All right.
So it's
Johnny.
I got it right here. Yep.
One pair and one pair.
Okay. And
Warlord times 2, Barbarian.
okay. And are they 75 each or separate?
For the pair.
There's two pairs.
75 for all.
Okay, cool. All right, guys. So we're gonna start the live auction in just a minute, I believe. Quick rundown of how this is going to work. Do I have my clock, or are we gonna just kind of wing it?
Get the clock.
All right. Doug Wendt goes the Conquistadors as well, kinda.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no, they were great
Yes,
too.
they were. They were good.
Actually, that was the
They were
finish.
they were
That's
final
right.
with us.
They were the
Yeah.
finals with us.
It's,
And that's why when Fuji tripped them, the
you.
crowd went nuts.
Thank you, Tony.
Yeah.
They were like, "Oh, Fuji turned face."
Yeah.
So it's about time to start the
Maybe
signing.
final
We're doing
yes.
3 minutes for each item. All right, guys. So here we have two wristbands, two pairs. Warlord's going to sign one pair. Barbarian's going to sign the other pair. You can get both of these.
Thank you.
Live
What
auction,
color?
3 minutes. Starting bid is $75, and we're going to start that right now. So
I think
$75
we're good.
is the
Thank
opening
you.
bid.
Thank you.
Warlord's going to sign one pair. Barbarian's going to sign the other pair. $75 opening bid. I'm watching along in the chat. Got about 2 minutes and 45 seconds to get those bids in. Just going to ask you guys to hold off a little bit in the chat while we're doing the auction. If you have a question that we can get to, that's great, but we're done talking about the tag team division for right now. All right, Emil Menard, 75, opening bid. Our champion Emil, always starting and usually finishing these live auctions. No, 76 doesn't count. It's got to be $5 increments. So $75 is the bid. If you want to go to 80, I'll count your bid.
Daryl, thank you.
Darren, these are for Tommy.
$75 opening bid. Emile Menard got 2 minutes left. Don't forget, Warlord's going to sign a pair of these. Barbarian's going to sign a pair of these.
Yes. Oh, so Daryl.
Bubba Call, I'm pretty sure we did. Did we sign Bubba Call's Warlord card?
Yeah,
he
we
said
did.
he missed it. Okay, yeah, Bubba, we got you, buddy. I thought I remembered it. I just didn't want to speak too soon.
Pardon me, Judge. Yes,
Oh, sorry.
I'm actually holding it in my hand.
Tommy's got it in his hand. I'm looking at it.
You didn't forget you.
All right, so
Yeah.
Emile Menard, $75 for the wristbands. Got
Yeah,
about a
and-
minute and a half left. Warlord's going to sign a pair. Barbarian's going to
Yeah,
sign a pair.
Yeah, we will.
$75 opening bid. Can we see $80 from somebody? So where were some of the places that you would stop for food after a show? I mean, with keeping up the physique that you had to keep up, I mean, was it basically just the Ron Simmons Waffle House steak type deal, or?
It was usually at Denny's for me.
Okay.
Usually at Denny's.
How many steaks? 3 or 4?
No, just a lot of egg whites.
Okay.
All that type of stuff. I really didn't eat steak late at night time.
Okay. $75 Emile Menard. Got 30 seconds left before Emile takes another live auction win. He's pretty much undisputed at this point. And tonight, no one even really gave him any competition. I think sometimes what happens is they just see Emile and go, you know what? He's going to win anyway. Let me save the guy a few bucks. All right, 10 seconds.
Yeah, come
We
on,
see
come
$80,
on.
10 seconds.
Come on, Fed.
And congratulations, Emile Menard. You are the winner of the wristbands, $75. They're going to be signed by Warlord and signed by Barbarian. Tommy, am I going to have them do these now, or?
I can do it now,
Okay,
yeah.
cool. I didn't know if there was a... All right, so the next item. These are knee pads that are going to be signed by both Warlord and Barbarian. And also my ex-girlfriend. Kidding.
Excuse me.
You know what?
Excuse
You know what? She's saying that about you.
We're going to start the bid at $100. $100. $100 opening bid, Warlord and Barbarian, the knee pads. And Billy Sirachi's asking, were there any dream tag teams you wanted to face and never got the chance to? Any guys that you really looked at and said, oh wow, I'd work great with them and we'd work great with them?
Wow.
I think you probably worked with
We
them.
work almost everywhere.
You know, someone brought it up where we did another virtual signing. Having worked with Undertaker and Kane.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Undertaker
love,
and Kane.
That
we
would
love
have
to
been
work.
awesome.
We love to work them.
That would have been a lot of fun.
I think you guys also would have been fun in there with the Dudleys too. 'Cause
Oh, I would love the
Oh.
Dudleys.
Sitting.
I would love to work with the Dudleys. They would have been great. Those guys are great.
Yeah. There's the dream. There's the dream match. Dudley.
Yeah, and Bubba's a great guy too. I know Devon as well, but Bubba I know personally. They're a lot of fun, and those guys. I mean, again, hard hitting. Acolytes would have been great for you guys to work with too.
Yep.
Just that hard hitting style. And think about it. Back in your day, you had all those teams to work with. $100. Emile Menard. Shock, shock. Can we see somebody come in at 105 for the knee pads? Warlord's going to sign them. Barbarian's going to sign them. $100 opening bid. Emile Menard.
Well, we're not gonna sign until it's 150.
Would you guys sign my car so Emile would buy it? Because I'm really in the... I mean, this guy, I love it. Always coming in. All right, so we got about a minute and 15 seconds left. We're going to start naming the auction after Emile. We're just going to call it the Emile Minutes. And just see if anyone can ever top him.
It doesn't seem like it.
All right, $100 so far. Emile Menard, can I see 105?
Mike's like, yeah, I'll just go. Forget it. We know Neil's going to take it.
All right, we got about 35 seconds left. Can I see 105? Thorsten Fritz, ECW's Pitbulls. That would have been
About
awesome.
120. I'd like to see 120.
Yeah, those guys were hard hitters too, the Pitbulls.
Yeah, good ones, yeah.
Yeah.
They were like, when I first started on the Indies, they were like the first team that I like managed
Yeah,
against.
big bull, yeah.
Yeah, I remember being scared because like at the time I was just watching ECW on MSG at 1
Right,
a.m. and I was
right.
able to watch it. And I mean, you would see these guys taking people's heads off. But I mean, they were great to work with. They were fun, but it was just...
Yeah, they're a little younger than us.
Yeah.
Yeah, ECW, huh? I think.
And we are sold to Emile Menard, $100, the knee pads, Warlord and Barbarian. I'm sorry, Barb, were you talking just there? I didn't mean to cut you off, sir.
I think one of them are dead. Eh?
Yeah, Anthony, Pitbull. I don't know if he was 1 or 2, but Anthony, he passed away many years ago.
Yeah.
Many years ago.
Can you give me a piece, personalize this to Bubba?
Oh,
John
okay.
Bubba, I forgot the.
How do you spell it?
Billy Srirachi says,
John
I'm looking
Bubba,
forward to
just
seeing
John?
you both.
John Bubba.
Personalized to John Bubba.
Where's the magazine?
J-O-H-N.
I got it
Bubba.
right here.
Oh, and this is talk about mint condition. Now, a few guys sent in.
Bubba,
Yeah, B-U-B-B-A.
B like
Yeah,
Paul?
B like Barbarian. B-U-B-B-A.
B-U-B-B-A.
A few guys sent this
Okay.
in
Yeah.
for memorabilia purposes. They shipped it in, but we have a mint condition copy.
what-
Tommy
let's try
Fierro is going to
red.
be opening the Wrestling Collector.
Yeah, okay.
Hopefully in mid-March, he said. And this is the stuff that you're going to be able to get at Wrestling Collector. Just these mint condition magazines. This is going to be signed by Warlord and Barbarian. We're asking $75, Emile Menard, for the opening bid. $75 opening bid at this magazine, which is in perfect condition. Going to be signed by Warlord and Barbarian. We're on the clock, 15 seconds in. Can we start with $75 opening bid?
Let's try this.
Uncle Ian Levy, 75. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, my wife will kill you.
John Soltes, $75. So can we see $80 from somebody? John Soltes came in at 75. Emile Menard, 80. Here we go. This is where it starts getting exciting.
Right.
Can we see 85? Kyle James, 85. Here we go. It's getting exciting now. We got a three-way battle here. Can we see $90? $90. Got 2 minutes left. Adam Pop, $90. Can we see 95? 95. This is a great magazine, the December 1989 edition. Great articles about Ultimate Warrior, Hercules, Big Boss Man, and Rick Martel retiring. Injuries suffered at the hands of Demolition. So this was pretty much every major storyline. Emile Menard just came in at 100 as Kyle James responds with 105. Every major WWF storyline at the time was covered in this magazine. You got the Survivor Series promo for Coliseum Video on the back. Right now, Kyle James is in the lead with a 105. Can we see 110? I had a subscription as a kid, but again, going to shows, making signs, I cut them all up. These great shots. Little Survivor Series preview. Kyle James is still in the lead at 105 with just about 60 seconds left in this auction. We started at 75. We're up to 105. Can we see 110? The date of magazine, Carlos, is December of 1988. I apologize. I had originally said 89. December 1988 WWF magazine. Don't forget to check out the Wrestling Collector because you're going to be able to get your hands on all types of memorabilia such as this. Kyle James right now is still in the lead at 105. Can I see 110? We got about 35 seconds left.
Yeah, better. Be careful, it's wet. It's a little wet.
Tony Neely says Barbarian looks like he could still kill everyone in the room.
No. I'm 80-year-old man.
We got 15 seconds left, and Emile Menard just came in at 110. So can I see 115? Emile Menard looks like he might be taking another clean sweep thus far. 110, 5 seconds left. Can someone top it? If you can top it,
Mine isn't
it's
that
yours.
good, Mine is kind
Huh?
of, mine kind of.
Yours good?
Sold to Emile Menard at 110.
Is there
The
another one?
WWF magazine, December 1988, signed by Warlord and Barbarian. Congratulations, Emil.
Those two and I'll start with blue. How's that?
So far, he's 3 for 3.
This kind
Pass it
of,
off.
mine isn't that, it's not like his.
I'll wait for him to come back, though. So
Well, I'm just a lucky guy. Man, you need another one like this, huh?
Yeah, Barb, mine doesn't look good.
Yeah.
Mine is worn down, that's why, it's worn down.
All right, gentlemen, here's the Auction Winners Magazine. Emil Menard, I guess, whatever they want you to do with that. And now our final auction item of the evening. These are a pair of wrestling boots that are going to be signed by both Warlord and Barbarian. The opening bid for these bad boys is $200.
You start with blue.
Let's start it off.
It's
$200.
like a good, it's a really good.
Yeah.
You want to do it from you? All right. Just going to finish that one in purple. And then we'll go to blue.
Finish it.
Go right.
Then we start blue.
Yeah, just use the same one.
No, same one, too slow.
It's not going to look the same.
Looking for an opening bid, Emil?
Let's try blue.
$200. I mean, he's won everything else so far
Yeah,
tonight,
which blue
so.
is, I don't have that blue.
Sorry. I just busted Emil's
All right, just use
chops.
this like this. We'll put this away.
We love the
Just use
support.
Give him one like that. How's that?
Yeah, just put this.
Michael Boren,
Put the top,
$200. Opening bid. Michael Boren, $200. Can I see 205? Doing $5 increments.
Okay.
Got about 2 minutes and 15 seconds left. Michael Boren, $200.
Very good. Just go like this.
Yeah. Yeah, see, that's better.
Jeff Garlitz is asking if you guys are still wrestling. Are you still wrestling, or are you just doing signings?
Yeah. So wrestling. Yeah.
I want to just do signings. He wants to still wrestle.
There you go.
Yeah. Why not?
All right. We're still at $200 with Michael Boren. Adam Pop says, I remember when Pogs were the thing.
Yeah.
And there was a do-it-yourself
when the
pog
price is
maker
right.
back in the day, and I ended up using some magazines to make my own wrestling pogs. I was a dumb kid. Well, we all were, Adam. That's a cool story. Ooh, this was a good thing. We were talking about teams that, if you wondered you should have worked with. Thorsten Fritz says, would have loved to see them against Fire and Ice, Scott Norton and Ice Train. That was a hard-hitting.
Yes, it
powerful
was.
match.
Scott Norton, Fire and Ice. Scott Norton and his
Ice
tag
Train.
team partner.
Who?
I don't know.
Ice Train.
WCW, Barb, you should know.
Ice Train. He was managed by Teddy Long
The
for a
big
while.
black guy.
Yes.
Yes,
Big, powerful man.
That's a powerful guy right there. Yeah.
All right, so far we have the opening bid of $200 from Michael Boren with about 50 seconds remaining. Can we see 205? Kyle James, you all should do this every Monday. We got a bunch coming up. We have about 3 a month coming up. So 80swrestlingcon.com.
See,
What's that? Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be cutting into my summer drinking schedule. No, but I'm happy to do it. It's a lot of fun. 80swrestlingcon.com for all the upcoming signings. We still have $200. Michael Boren was the only bid, and he's got 15 seconds till he walks away with these boots that are signed by the Warlord and the Barbarian. And we are sold to Michael Boren, $200. The Warlord and Barbarian signed wrestling boots.
no, that's it.
And then, of course, we got, the big picture to Emil, 80s Wrestling #1
That's a
fan. You want
good
to just walk
price.
that in front of the camera?
That's a good price, 200 for a boot.
There you go, Emil. We'll get that signed for you in a little bit.
Tommy, is there anything you'd like to say to anybody or throw anything out there? Anything else?
Thank you for all the support as always.
Tommy, thanks you for the support. We all thank you for the support. I can
thank you.
say, especially for me, as somebody who has been, pretty much out of work as a stand-up comic since this pandemic began, this has been a lot of fun for me. Helps pay the bills, and I get to mark out for guys that I grew up watching. In Barbarian's case, I got to work with him a few times, so it's nice to see him tonight. We got so many great signings coming up. I'm just going to run down the list one more time. We're going to be back on March 8th with Wendy Richter. March 22nd, we got Bob Orton along with Craig DeGeorge. It's Craig DeGeorge's first ever autograph signing period. So That's going to be really exciting. April 19th, Extreme ECW signing. April 26th, Ned Hansen. May 10th, Ken Patera. May 17th, Eric Rowan. May 17th, we also have Darren Young. May 24th, Nikita Koloff. June 7th, Rock and Roll Express. June 21st, The Head Shrinkers. June 28th, Billy Gunn. July 5th, Tyrus. July 26th, Dean Malenko. If you get those orders in before midnight tonight, you're going to get a free Coco Beware 8x10. So order for any of those signings I just listed. Free autograph Coco Beware 8x10 for you. Don't forget social media. You can follow me at Ryan Marr Comedy, Ryan MAHER Comedy. You can follow at 80s Wrestling on Instagram, at 80s Wrestling on Twitter, as well as the Facebook 80s Wrestling group. And of course, 80s Wrestling the podcast. Every Thursday, brand new episode up on iTunes. Thank you to everybody. Vicious Vicky for her pre-show. Everybody that was here tonight. Nikos, the whole crew. Tommy, everybody. And of course, the men themselves. The Powers of Pain, Warlord and Barbarian. It was such a pleasure, guys.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you, Ryan.
Have a good night,
everybody.
guys. See you
Good night.
soon.
Thank you, everybody. Say good night. Good night.